Alright guys, and welcome to Dope Check episode number 93. Major 2 in Birmingham is done. We have another different champion, but it's a familiar champion for Major 2 tournaments over the last few years. FaZe take the victory, OpTic fall just short. Back in the UK for the first time in a very long time. Myself and Trey were there all weekend. Lots of interesting storylines. We got drama in the grand final to the format. We got drama with the tournament when it comes to the PCs they were rocking with. We got all this talk about the crowd, what was happening with the Gentlemates fans, what we can expect from Paris. Will we be back in the coming years? And we also have a very special guest in the building. Ken is joining us today. Don is currently on a flight, we think, back to, hopefully Maresh isn't in the pilot seat. Back over to Texas. So we got Ken filling in for the day. Welcome, chat. Hope you're having a good time. Ken, how was everything back home during the weekend? Good to have you on the stream.
It was great. I mean, obviously my first watch party for a UK event was kind of
timings.
I guess it was a little bittersweet because I love UK events. I don't think the matches were that exciting, but it looked packed. So I think it was definitely an interesting event. Sucks that I wasn't there, but I enjoyed it.
What's your trade back home? Nice and safe? Nice. Big night for you last night. Big night.
I thought I was a special guest. I'm not going to lie. You can't.
I see.
Me there.
Yeah. You were a special guest on the live show that we did in person together. It was nice.
Yeah.
Some of you guys watching were there.
Now, listen, it's been great. I did have a crazy night last night. Listen, it was filled with Pokemon cards and calling my girlfriend and sleeping in my own bed because I was not staying there that Sunday. You weren't catching me at no casino losing thousands of pounds just for the love of the game, just because I'm trying to chill with the guys. Nuh-uh, you weren't catching that. On top of that, I heard there was crazy train delays because yesterday there was some crazy train delays. It was 2 of my trains got cancelled before going back. I said I'm not dealing with this tomorrow. So yeah, crazy night for me. I can't wait to run it back. We've got a couple months off now because we're not going to Atlanta. It's Atlanta's just not the event I'm going to go to. If you want me to be honest with you, I've got bigger fish to fry. But yeah, no, great event. UK crowd was great. Everything went smoothly with the event too, minus the little technical difficulties with the PCs and stuff like that, which we'll get into as well. But yeah, no, great time for a great show. Let's get into it.
Absolutely, yeah. Big thanks to PrizePicks as well, supporting the content. More about them later on. But let's talk about the way that things went. Oh, probably need to slightly readjust Ken's camera on this one. Should have thought about that before the time. All good. It's fine. You still look good. Look, huge crowds there in the venue. And this is we were there in Birmingham 8 years ago for the other event. This has got to be 3 times as big at least, probably. The same stuff that we had in the Birmingham event those years ago, it was probably across 3 times as much space for sure. And yeah, this is the biggest crowd we've had in the UK, absolutely. The London events back in the day were great, but I mean, you can see from this shot here, just the center stage and the crowd around it. There were 5,500 seats there. I think I was talking to a couple of guys, they reckon there was probably more people there than that because also there were people that didn't have CDL tickets, but they had DreamHack tickets. So they could either try to sneak in or they could stand just outside of the main arena. There was a standing area with a big screen where people could watch as well. And I know that there's probably a lot of DreamHack attendees who weren't there for the CDL who came across it because this was the biggest thing that was happening at DreamHack this week. So look, to see so many British fans there was crazy because a lot of the guys flew to Madrid last year, but this was completely a different level in terms of a scene in the UK. And I was not worried, but when I first heard the event was going to be in the UK, I did wonder what the UK scene would look like because the CDL knows their analytics. I know my analytics in terms of UK percentage audience, and it's not gone up over the last few years. Let's just put it that way, which is not a massive surprise, right? There's not as many British players. The visa causes issues. There's no more Splice or Red Reserve or any of those good teams. Trey, you know how it goes. So
I was on all of those good teams. I was on all of those. Just letting you guys know.
Yeah, I actually wasn't. I forgot about that. Yeah, good. Thanks for a reminder.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, all good. So like, it's not the same anymore, but there's still absolutely the passion and the interest here. And there's so many people that it was their first event. Like maybe they had gone to London back in the day, or maybe they'd flown over to Toronto for one of them, or to Madrid. But yeah, it was great to be there. And I think the crowd was energetic. There were some great moments. I'm glad that Insight made the run, because that created some great storylines as well. And I think there's a pretty good chance, Trey, that we will be back next year. Daniel Say was also very happy about it. I had a good little chat with Daniel while we were up on like the desk platform thing, because the viewership for this event, I mean, we'll see what the numbers look like in the end, but because of the time zones, the viewership isn't going to be as good just naturally because of like, you know, I'm sure you found this, Kenny, as well when you were doing the watch parties, right? It's not optimal for an American audience, which is why they don't want to do like too many events in Europe generally, but the in-person audience absolutely made up for that and then some, as far as the league are concerned, to my understanding. Anyway, thoughts, Trey?
Yeah, I think the major thing is time wise, you know, like you said with the audience and stuff like that. Primarily, you know, obviously the watch parties and stuff like that. They got to wake up early. Did that DreamHack thing get announced?
They did announce it, yeah.
Like that they're coming back.
Yeah, here's the tweet. Oh, apologies for the audio.
I think that's a pretty good insight that COD will be back there next year. Obviously, don't. You know, I'm not confirming anything because we haven't even, you know, it's next year. But hey, you know, 2027, Birmingham NEC. Who says no?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be back. I mean, they've confirmed today that DreamHack is going to be back. So it would be a pretty big surprise if they don't put the COD there as well. Again.
I also think this is the first time where COD's ever taken over like a whole like event.
Yeah, we had like the whole like halls.
Like this wasn't a DreamHack event. This was a Call of Duty event.
Yeah. And they had to put the Dota across the road because COD had taken up too much space. So they had to move the Dota.
What games were there? What games were all there?
It was
Warzone,
Halo.
Dota.
There was F1 Esports.
Ooh.
Dota was across the road.
But it don't matter. It don't matter.
COD was what it was all about.
I gotta say, COD looked popping. I can't lie. Just from looking, like it looked crazy.
Even the Friday, like the Friday.
No, you're right. Friday was a huge surprise how busy it was.
Usually, like, bro, you remember Kitchener Thursday, bro? It was like they were still setting up the stadium. You know what I'm saying? They were still setting it all up.
I wish I was there. Man.
Here,
wish I came to Kitchener.
Like, Jesus Christ, it was terrible. Like that Kitchener, and obviously, you know, there's not much. You know, there's a lot of the things they could have done and like not had it in Kitchener. But this Birmingham event, you could have it in anywhere in the UK, and this still would have been popping like this. Hopefully next time, obviously, me and Rab had a conversation with someone. If you guys watched our live show, we said it. We had a conversation with someone about bringing it to London. Listen, everyone would love it in London. Everyone would love it. But the issue is, it's cost-wise, and, you know, obviously it's not going to align with everything. I think in London it's like maybe 2-3 times more to run it over there. So, you know, I think Birmingham's a good place for it anyway. You know, Midlands, everything's all calm over there.
Yeah, that's like also for the British fans, Birmingham is really good logistically. Like people can, because it's so central, as you say. It's really convenient, and especially if people are flying in from like Ireland, it doesn't really matter to them. Like they're going to fly anyway. So I guess for them it doesn't really matter if they come Paris or Birmingham. It's like still a short flight. But
I think low key, that was my main issue with like the production this weekend though. The stream was that like it was so packed, but you could barely hear the crowd. Like on stream, there was like barely any crowd noise. And I feel like that kind of ruined the excitement for matches and ruined all the hype moments. So some of the matches were just like hell to watch. I'm just watching bored. No, there was no listen-ins.
Or something.
Yeah. On Friday, they didn't do a single listen-in, and then you could barely hear the crowd. I'm just like, with how packed the event looked, I feel like it should have been definitely a better watching experience, but it probably was definitely better in person.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw a couple of clips when I was making the video that night, and I listened to their clips, and I was like, I was there for this moment, and the crowd was fucking like hella loud for this walkout, and you could barely hear it on the stream. And I did see, like when I went up to the desk bit, they had I think they'd thrown a few more like microphones on the side of it that were kind of pointed at the crowd that maybe weren't there before. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not a production expert. You'd think it's as simple as just like cranking the switch a little bit, but probably not. But I do hear that from like a viewing experience online. I mean, also the other thing, Trey, on the Friday was that, wow, the queues for the beers were out of control. Like, they did not have enough. I don't know, like, they underestimate the fans, mate.
I don't think they underestimate, but like, well, listen, here's my thing, yeah. How can you underestimate 5,500 tickets being sold? Like, you've really got to sit there and think, listen, they're part-time alcoholics in the UK, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're event alcoholics, realistically. They're gonna drink, and they're gonna drink till those kegs are done.
They were rolling kegs through the doors like no tomorrow.
Bro.
We were sitting at the back, and they were just like, they were slamming the door open at the back, and two lads in high vis just rolled
didn't just sell out
kegs.
beers. They didn't just sell out beers and bars in the venue. They sold out beers and stuff like that on tap in the resorts world, 5-minute walk away down the road.
Yeah. No, last night, I go out to the bar. Miles is like, what did Miles want? A Stella? Something? No. He wanted a Corona. That's right. I'm not going to disrespect him like that. You want a Corona? No Corona. No Stella. No. The only options that they still had left on tap were Guinness or Bud or like Copperberg. That was it. Everything else is out. And I think that's like...
Jeez.
And actually, I got talking to the casino manager who I'd been like liaising with to do our live shows. Because he obviously was not aware any of this was going on. Like, when I first met him 3 weeks ago, that's when I told him, like, there's going to be a pretty big event here in 3 weeks. Like, you kind of get ready a little bit. But he said the Saturday night was the busiest night they've ever had in that casino. By like for the entire day, actually, in terms of average attendees, people in the venue all day, it was the biggest. It's the busiest it's ever been in there. So yeah, they'll be better prepared next year, I think. That's as far as I understand.
That helps us out too. That helps us out because the manager, like, you know,
he was mind blown. I went up to her like 2 a.m. at the casino. He was like, his face was mind blown. I don't think he was expected to work that late, but like they needed it.
I mean, money wise too, they probably done extremely.
Oh
well.
my god, they did well last night. Oh yeah.
They just fleeced every pro player's salary for the next month. Just for,
all those tournament winnings. Wow.
Yeah. Anyone got knocked out early?
Yeah, they were there for sure.
100%. If you saw a top team knocked out on the Saturday, guess what? Blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first. Yeah. That's the first text message in the chat. There is no like, yo, let's look at this. Nah, bro. Casino? Or
yo, mod. Nah, Casino. All right, bet I'm down there. Sweet.
It's just so like well positioned. I think that is what the event and the arena does have going for it as well. It's like, because you've got where the NEC is just across the road, 5-minute walk. You've got the hotels and like all the food places and the bars. So like, yeah, it's probably sensible. It would be cool to do it in Manchester or something. Obviously, I'd be biased in favour of that. But
you literally live there.
I do, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of arenas that could make sense. Like if the French lads can really sell out 30,000 tickets, then maybe at some point we could sell out the Co-op Live. But I think we might need a little more time on that one. But you know, if we keep moving at the current pace, give it another 8 years, we might be able to level up. But yeah, it was great to be there on the weekend. I think there is a great chance we will be back in Birmingham. Trey, thoughts on Jamie Insight and the crowds and the land buff? I remember being at that Birmingham event back in 2018 when Splice, you weren't on that team at the time, but different Splice. I didn't like that team as much, obviously. But they made that crazy losers bracket run. They beat OpTic, they beat Rise, they were smoking LG in the finals, and they eventually lost. But you know, we kind of had this.
I was at the casino.
That's what I was thinking. That I did wonder that.
Yeah, we lost pretty early as the top team. We was at the casino.
Yeah, okay, understood. Well, I was in the crowd.
Nice.
Yeah, very good, very good. But yeah, we got to run it back of the what do we think of LG/Gentlemates moment. You know what's funny? Yesterday I was backstage talking with my best friends, Exceed, Brian Saint, and like the Ravens boys. Like, no, it was actually chill. But like Exceed said that if he had this ready to go, if he beat Gentlemates, he was ready to drop the what do we think of Gentlemates chant on the main stage, which would have been pretty funny if he did it, to be fair.
Yeah, I was
Of all
looking waiting for
people.
that. I feel like that's like
Yeah.
a staple, like at a UK event. I don't know. It's pretty fire. People thought it was like cringy when Jamie did it, but I thought it was like the perfect timing.
Nah, Jamie
Pretty
cooked
fire,
with this.
especially. Nah, yeah, that was a super cook. It definitely entertained the stream a lot. I feel like, but
Did I
I think he did get a buff, and that looked insane. He was playing really well.
did I hear that correctly? You said Exceed was gonna say it.
Yeah, Exceed had it geared up. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that would have probably killed it. I don't know. I don't know if Pixie got that bag in him. I don't.
Bro, ain't no. Well, yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get 5,500 UK fans back in Exceed when he can't even win a fucking map on LAN. I'm sure he's gonna do that.
No, it's fine.
I'm sure they're gonna back his beef. Of course they want a map against fucking Gentlemates. I'm not dumb, but Jesus Christ. Exceed's gonna hop on stage. The whole crowd would have been silent. They would have been like, "What's?"
Ooh.
what's
Nah, man.
we backing this, brother? Like what?
Nah,
No, I
man.
think it was better. It was better for the culture that Gentlemates, with all due respect to Exceed, it was better that they did win. So we got insight to do it. That was better.
True,
Exceed
That
might
was
have got
fair.
jumped.
bro.
I mean, look, Trey, are we got to watch our back when we go to Paris? What do we? Because the French fans, they weren't happy with this. They don't. Apparently, they don't really understand. I don't know.
Well-
I don't think they quite get it. It's just a bit of fun.
Listen, I
lads.
ain't trying to have no beef with the French fans.
No.
But I said it to you, Rab. Like, there weren't that many here this event.
No, there was 25. No, I don't know. But they were allowed to be fair.
But listen, the way they were moving in Madrid was crazy.
No, you're right.
But like,
Yeah, they were crazy.
Here, I thought it was gonna be like a fucking derby.
Mm.
I thought it was gonna go
They're
crazy.
saving
but, like,
their money for Paris, I guess.
I mean, listen,
Good
obviously
big.
they're gonna go crazy in Paris. We might have to start growing out one of those French mustaches and start speaking French.
I
'cause
was
we might
actually,
get jumped.
I was thinking that
You
today.
might.
I'm like, hop on the Duolingo for 3 months.
Yeah, je ne sais pas.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
that. Yeah.
all that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some French
But
in
that
the
doesn't
Duffy.
even
Okay,
mean
hold
anything,
on.
right? What it is,
Hold
it don't
on,
mean
hold
anything, right? Like,
What Duolingo? We got Treylingo out here, right? I'll teach you
Okay,
a
very
couple
good,
hours
yeah.
a day in this. We got
yeah,
this. Oh man.
yeah. So
Oh,
anyway,
did we ever find out what was in the envelope there?
I think
No opening.
I think it's just an invite, basically. Like they were giving these invites to some creators and stuff. So they gave one. I saw a couple of the other ones of these floating around, but I think it was pretty good. They gave one to Insight because it's like, okay, there's something going on. Obviously, they realized
Yeah.
it's not that serious. The fans took it pretty serious. They were like, okay, and so get ready, buddy. I'm sure his DMs were looking pretty crazy. Well, they were basically telling him like, look, hope you're still on the team, mate. Come Major 4, like, I hope you actually get out here. So we'll see about that. Luke with another 5. This is the worst thing to happen to Koi. Jamie saving his career this tourney is going to keep Koi mid. They are one change away from a consistent top 3. Like, if I'm nasty watching this, as much as I'm happy that the UK boys are doing well, I'm thinking, damn, that was my shot. Like, that was my chance to get onto Toronto. Now it's not going to happen because, look, Insight, he's done it again. You got to respect it. He actually is a Lanimal, to be fair. But
Yeah.
he, like, career on the line, home crowd, just not only does he deliver a great performance, like he had I've got the numbers here actually. He had a 1.07 for the tournament. He had a 0.97 online. So he got a pretty big land buff. Him and Kleenex, actually, both of them, according to
I was about to say, I feel like Toby played insane the whole event. Like
Yeah,
Kleenex
yeah.
was pretty gross. I don't know. I feel like that one change away is kind of crazy. The thing about Jamie, I will say, I just feel like he used to be the S&D guy, and that's the thing that they are kind of missing. Is that Jamie used to be consistently like one of the best, if not the best, S&D player in the league for a good bit. He was always clutching random 1v1s, 1v2s. I mean, obviously, he's not on the team to be slaying out. I think that's why I said that Kleenex was having a great event, because I think when Kleenex is on form, their respawn is going to look great. Jamie obviously showed out, played pretty well, but I think if he can just bring back that S&D prowess, I think Toronto could be still playing on Sundays. I mean, Joe kind of had I want to say mediocre, but definitely a little bit of underperformance for what he normally does in terms of respawns. But I mean, I think they're in a great spot. I don't think that like Jamie deserves to just be kicked off the team. Obviously, it's so easier said than done that Nasty could probably make them better. You never know team dynamics. He's been on the team for a while. There got to be a reason behind it. But I think he brings a lot to this team that people don't really understand. And obviously, he was underperforming, and it's so easier to say like kick the worst player off the team. But I think he showed why this event he's on the team, and I think he deserves, his flowers for the event, even if it's a UK buff, whatever you want to call it, for sure.
It's my whole thing about this league right now is you can't just be good at LAN. You have to be good on both, especially with how important online COD is. Now, Jamie obviously performed amazingly this event, and realistically, like, he's not been performing. Like, he has a few stinkers online in terms of, like, what map-wise, you know what I'm saying? He's still dropping a 0.97 online for the KD. Now, as an AR, Ken, slow at AR like him, that's probably around like what Lamar would be at a 2, you know what I'm saying? Just hovering next to a 1 neutral whilst doing the important stuff on the map. I think if he can, stop these like kind of like BS maps or just going like insanely negative for what in a map in a series, like I don't think these shouts would be a thing.
Agreed.
Obviously the LAN helped him a lot, and I don't think he deserves to be dropped after the LAN. Fuck the UK buff or anything like that. He's still got to do it on LAN. It does help him out a little bit. But he's gonna go back. They're not gonna drop him. If they do drop him, I feel it'd be kind of stupid. They're just finding a little bit of form. Like you said, Joe didn't have his 1.4 as this event, like he was having online. But Toby stepped up too, and we've all got to look at the team as a whole and realize that whole team right now online isn't playing well, but that team on LAN played pretty fucking good. They got fourth.
Agreed.
They
got
fourth?
third.
Third. That's it. Sorry, I always get it mixed up.
No, you're good.
They just got third at the event after, kind of looking like kind of.
They nearly beat FaZe. Like, they genuinely nearly beat FaZe.
They did.
Like, they both at a hard points they could have won.
For sure.
They did. So listen, they got to go back and they got to figure out how to stop the online bullshit. And, we got to give them some time on that. But as I always say in this league, you don't have time to sort that out. So it's either they go back, figure out what they got to sort out to make these online bullshit like stop happening, and I think they'll be good. They did need this third though. They did need
for sure.
this
Even
third.
for champs, like
especially for confidence.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
also
champs
that.
as well.
Which
Champs
is funny. Like, you don't
big
really think about it because you think, oh, Toronto will be a champs. Like, no. But it's actually a little bit sketchy because Ravens keep like banking serious points online. So, couple super chats to quickly get through here. Jose with the 2, he says, coincidentally, 0 an insight on the same setup. ... Here we go again with the PC cheese.
And the God box.
Was TJ on the same PC too? Like, because he had a plus, but he had a plus.
I don't know. We need to go back. You need to go back and have a look at that. But yeah, Leah's pointing out the Xnid stat as well. We'll definitely talk about the Falcons.
Well, I don't want to even point out the Xnid stat. I want to point out every one of those stats. Although, like, listen, if you can't come over here and do it, if you ain't about it like that, you ain't got the minerals like that, you can't go back online and start doing the bullshit.
Yeah.
This is now that there's some champions on there, like Pred example. Like we had a conversation with Pred, like the PCs, all that setups and stuff like that. There was a big issue in this event.
Yeah, we'll get.
So this event, I can give a couple. I can give a pass, but not too much of a pass. All right.
A small little pass.
Yeah. We'll give a small little pass, but Xnid, you can't drop 1.09 online.
0.34 is crazy. 0.34 is crazy.
And go drop a 0.75. Like, listen, that's. And before this event, what did I say? He's the only. Like, I need him to turn the fuck up because online he is incredible in respawns. He just does whatever the fuck he wants. He slams, and he rarely plays bad in a respawn. But
online, he was top 3. He was top 3 in respawns. He looked godlike. I was gassing him every weekend. Like, I don't know. Xnid looked insane, and I feel like he's an energy factor for the team as well. And some players that start playing bad, they lose their energy factor, and they kind of die down. It didn't look like you didn't have AG screaming. You didn't really have no energy to the team, and I think their energy-based momentum team, when he's not playing as good, you can see it. So I mean, obviously, like you said, I super agree. Obviously, I'm also a victim of it. You gotta play good online in this league, just because there's so many more matches online for the most part than there is LAN. If you're obviously not making Sundays, so
I mean, they played one day, right? They didn't even make
Exactly.
What I mean? They played one Friday. They had 2 matches.
That's the issue. That's the real big issue here. Is if they're gonna do all this like online, where I even said they could be the second best team in the world if they got their S&D up.
Yeah.
But now it's like when they go to LAN, it's like shit. Like you guys just don't even like do crazy good in the respawns either. So, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But to me, like, I would love it. Like, I would hate to play an online version of Xnid in a league match and then love to play him on LAN because I would just love someone to just run around like he does. I think Slash would be the same. Lamar would have a field day with him. Lamar would have Lamar, he would, what's this guy doing, bro? Like, Lamar would just sit there, ironed up on a heady, Xnid 3 deaths. And I think that's the player he is. Now, I'm not slating him. I think he's really good. I just think, and I think as well, like you do have to change how you play online to LAN.
Yeah,
like You have 2 different play styles. Not crazy, but yeah, like that's enough. That's enough Xnid slander. I just think he's got to determine how he wants to play online to LAN because you can't play the same way. Like it's impossible, especially with how he plays. We can go down the list like Estriel. I think Estriel's a very good player, very smart player. I just think the team he's in, they can just get blended or not blended.
Such a weird team, bro. Like,
it's
what the
such a
fuck
weird
is that team?
It's such a weird team.
I'm high on the G2 boys.
Yeah.
I'm usually like I play basketball with them all the time, so I'd be kind of I like the vibe of the team. I feel like their issue, like you said, is like when they're getting beat up on, they don't really have any comeback. I mean, I feel like the only maps they like have close that like they clutch up on is like Den Hardpoint. Like the last few seconds of a Den Hardpoint, they kind of have that battle. But I don't know, Jay's weird, bro, because I team with Estriel, and obviously I know how talented he could be. I just feel like sometimes he don't allow himself to take that green light and be like selfish. I just think he could be a lot more selfish, especially because, like I said, he's very talented and he understands the game at a pretty high level. Just from, like I said, teaming with him. So it sucks to see that he's obviously performing better online. But I also think they have some pretty hard matches. So I can attest to that. And obviously, you got to show up. You got to show up and play against whoever you're playing against. And obviously, when you want to win, you got to beat these good teams. But I think he'll figure it out. I think their team right now is in a weird spot where they just need to find a way to battle back in these series when they're down. And I think his LAN will go, like LAN KD, I guess, will go up as they figure out their team.
Like they've had a top 4 and a top 6. Like it's kind of, given their roster and given expectations, it's pretty respectable. I mean, if they'd have been 2 championship Sundays in a row, that would have been, that would have been unexpected. Just quickly, Memdug did a $2 super chat. He says, your favorite teams, Kenny, outside of the teams that you won champs with?
My favorite teams outside of the team, like the ones I played on?
Yeah, I guess so.
I would say I had a lot of fun on my G2 team. I can't lie. Granted, we weren't the best. We were losing a lot of game files last year, but we felt like boys inside the game. We did a lot of stuff. We had a lot of fun. We talked a lot of trash to each other. I feel like that's a team environment that you need to be a good team. We obviously just didn't show it in matches. But I would say my G2 team, I enjoyed it a lot. I think Looney's also a great coach. I think people be on his ass about him not being a great coach, but I actually think he's so underrated in terms of in-game and out of the game. He still has like that older mentality, which I think is getting lost. That more crucial, critical, like harsh mentality. Nowadays, it seems a little bit soft, but that's why I enjoyed playing with him. I think that definitely is one of them. I mean, obviously, my TK team Lamar is one of my best friends of all time. So, but I would say the G2 team as an all-around team was underratedly like super, super fun outside of us losing every game 5.
No, I hear that. Actually, before we talk more about the CDL, we've got to give a little bit of love to what happened in challenges this weekend, because we did have some UK champs, Trey. The old boy Marcus. He got the job done. Tournament MVP. Back on top. I'm not shocked.
I was DMing Afro at DM Beans. I had a nice little conversation with Afro before he played. I think it was on Saturday. I think it was. And me and Ben Beans, we've got a good relationship. Me and him. It's a funny one. And I DM'd him. I DM'd him. I'll read you guys the DMs.
All right.
said, congrats. That's what I'm talking about, no doubt. And he said he ain't done yet. And I said, don't worry, a good PR show for you on Monday. And he said, the pace and fundies are crazy. That's what he wants me to say about him. The pace and fundies are crazy.
I like that.
And, I hit him with I'll have you on a CDO team by Wednesday. So we kind of got to make this a thing.
All right.
We kind of got to give some good PR now. Listen, the PR, I know it's 2 days.
Wednesday?
Yeah, we got 2
We
days.
got 2 days to work with it. Bloody hell.
So listen, I'm gonna need one of these shit teams to
moving.
start getting rid of some players because we need Ben Beans back in the league. Listen, obviously they had a rough stint with Cloud9, and you can't really take that away from them. They still did play in the league, and they did not look very good. Afro, been my teammate before on London as well, but listen, I'll speak for Afro real quick. Afro is not a fucking terrible player. You've seen stints of him in the league. He is league proven. He is league ready. He's been through some bullshit. Listen, these guys need another shot. There's a lot of players and challengers that have been league proven and are ready for it. Ben Beans, even on Toronto at the start of the year last year, he was very fucking good. Very, very good. I think that Merc situation really did fuck him over a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent here. Afro and Beans still have their visas. They're getting treated very nicely over at P7, so shout out P7 as well as an organization for keeping those boys around in America. What is there not to say about these guys? Diamond Con. I don't really speak about Diamond Con that much because I don't really know him. He calls himself DC these times, DC. It's a good nickname. But I think just as a refresh for the league, I think seeing these boys on there with a bit of hunger, a bit of talent, maybe not team with each other, maybe Afro and Beans, on the same CDO team ain't the way forward. But listen, I do believe they do deserve a spot. The Rock Boys, we're in a situation where like EU players can't get picked up because of their visa situation. These guys have visas. If there's any orgs looking for 2 guys that are league proven, there you go. There's 2 of them right there. Maybe back on Cloud9. Ben said, can you try and get me on a team that's not going to cost my career? I can't promise you that. Hey, dude, maybe Cloud9 again. Maybe Cloud9.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody in the chat said Ken doesn't tip challenges wins, and it's because me and Don had an argument about this other day, or like last weekend. And it's not that I don't tip like anybody, because you got to win what what's in front of you. Like once again, it's just the people that's been in the league and then they get kicked out for playing bad. I just feel like winning challenges shouldn't be like a highlight. I guess like you shouldn't be like. Because I was talking to my homies, like you shouldn't feel like you only want to be better than the shit people in the league. Like you don't want to be like, oh, I'm better than the guy on the 12th place team. I should be in the league. That should not. If you've been in the league, that shouldn't be the mentality, in my opinion. And granted, mine might just be different and it might be a bad, but I definitely think that Beans and Afro are obviously great players. I think Beans is pretty good. I always thought he was pretty good because he was a fast AR, and I always tip people that play super fast with AR drop a lot of damage. And Afro, I mean, just from obviously him being on LAT and me kind of talking to Shane and Cap about it, like they obviously spoke highly of him. So, I mean, it's not that I don't tip challengers players for winning challenges. I just think that people need to have like look at this bigger picture of like, you want to win in the league. Like that's like the goal of everybody is to win in the league. And like you said, he didn't want to join a team that's going to chalk his career. And I feel like that's just a bad mentality, because when I came to the league, I joined a team with, you can speak to this, Trey. I joined a team with Lamar, Keen, and Theory. Not a single person in the world thought we would win the event. Not a single person. And I feel like that's just the mentality of a lot of these new players, or just players in general from challengers. They just like, they join a shit team and they look at it as like, well, I'm playing with these players, I can't win. And I don't like that mentality. That was just my whole spew. And
No, I agree with it.
I think that like that mentality is what holds a lot of these players back, and that's what keeps them out the league, is because they don't think they can win. They really don't. And their mentality is just, I want to be in the league because I'm better than the worst player in the league. Well, cool. That doesn't keep you in the league, respectfully. So I think a lot of these players do deserve another shots, and people be like saying, oh, well, why do they recycle players in the league? It's because the players that get to the league and go back to challengers are usually the players and challengers that are winning. And I think that's a big issue as well. Is like, if you're so much better than these players, why do they come back and beat you in challengers? I mean, like I said, all respect to them. I think obviously people just need to think more highly of themselves and, value winning in the league a lot more than just making it to the league. So that's just my opinion. I think that's what will keep players in the league more. And, Yeah, that was my whole spew. So it's not that I
Nah,
don't
I
tip
fuck
challenges
with it.
wins. I think you need to win challenges to make it. That's the stepping stone to making it to the league. I just think once you get to the league and you get kicked out for playing bad, you can't just be. People go quickly to blaming their teammates. So I don't know. That was just me.
I mean,
Like I said, my mentality might be wrong, but that's just how I see it.
I mean, that's one thing I will give Ben Beans when he tweeted out. He said there's no excuses when he got dropped. There was no excuses. He played like shit
Yeah.
pretty much. You know,
Go ahead.
I do agree with you as well. You know, you don't just like that. We've seen it many times before with Fellow. He'll go into the league, you know, not winning the league, but then he'll come out to challenge and just fry people. Now, that's not saying that Fellow is not a league player. He's been league proven before. I do believe a mindset of players coming into the league of being like, yeah, I'm not joining that team. We ain't gonna win. I need Mercules. I need Dashy. I'll just wait for them.
Wait for them, yeah. Wait for the call.
It is a bad mentality too. Like you said, you went with Theory, Cheen, and Lamar.
Back to back,
even,
baby. Back to back champs.
I'll sit there and say, like, when you made that team or when I was about to play that team, I was like, these guys ain't gonna do nothing to my team. But then at the time, Ken, I'm also teaming with Joe, Josh, and Rated, who, like, you know, realistically, there's no superstars on that team. And I feel like what's lost a lot in this day of age is everyone can drop under a 1 KD and still win the map. That's what we were doing back in the day. Everyone would be on like a 0.95 and with 100-point club teams just by playing COD right. I feel like that's what's lost a lot. It's like a lost art these days. People think you need to just get so many kills, and you kind of do in these types of games. But like people join teams, and the first thing to do is, we can't win. I need to just get kills. How do we lose that? We just need more kills. Like there's a lot more to it. Because we've seen like even Pred's team back in the Surge team back in Vanguard with Lamar, Pred, Mac, and God, I forget the last one was. Dante, yeah. Like that's a really good team, but no one ever thought they were just going to come out and win, and they did.
For sure.
So I think the mentality of now the only team I wouldn't join is Cloud9, respectfully. Obviously, there's many.
But that's the question,
that,
though. It's like, okay, where? Because if you look down the league, especially with the way the results happens, OpTic, FaZe, Toronto, top 3. Thieves, we can talk about them. Maybe there's still some questions, but then you've got Paris. They obviously didn't have a great tournament by any means, but also I don't expect them to blow it up. They're still a championship team. And then you look through the rest of the teams. Miami is a no-go because they've got the Spanish thing. They might be doing their own changes. Ravens, I still think, are pretty happy with where they are because they're farming points online. So, and then you're kind of left with Boston, Surge, Cloud9. I mean, really, Boston is probably the talking point here because you think you'd think they've got a pretty solid AR duo. Nasty's got history with Afro. You know, to me, that just makes quite a lot of sense.
There's a place where I could see Afro going over there. You know, they've already got the 2 ARs set. They've got a good duo ship in the ARs with Spart and Byron. They just need a good SMG duo. I don't know who's on the market in that aspect. You know, you got Real, you got Afro. Maybe those two can make it work over there. I think that'd be a pretty decently, like, disgusting team. That could be one of those like underrated teams or dark horses or whatever. But it's all about how they work it out in the end. But Boston's like probably one of the major orgs to look out for right now because they already have 2 spots open. They've already dropped 2 players, so they're just hoping for 2 players that can go in and plug and play. I think they're done with a whole project right now. They just want 2 players that can come in and shoot. So
I do just want to make it clear that like Boston, they need to take some risk with a high potential reward. Like they can't afford to just be good, because they're actually a long way behind in the points. Like, this is the current standings. Falcons are currently 8th at 125, tied with Toronto. Miami are at 130, G2 already at 165. Then you got the top 4. And Ravens are 9th right now at 110. And Boston are at 60. I know. Like, genuinely, it is probably chalked. Because also, we've not got many more online games. We have 5 qualifiers in Major 3, Major 4, and 2 minor tournaments, to be fair. But even if you win the minor, I think you get 30 points. And then win in the minor. So Like you're
I
gonna
think that needs to be the mentality, though. I think that needs to be the mentality. We want to win the minor.
I agree.
And that's my
That's
point.
what I'm
Is that
saying.
these
Like, let's
players
put a
need to
team
come in
together.
and be undeniable.
Yeah, no, I fuck with that mentality heavy, and I think that's like they have to try and form a team of players that believe that one, but also that have like that they've put together enough talent, even if there's risk there, that they can actually do that. Like they can't afford to just they can't afford to be mediocre and make it happen. Like it's better to just crash and burn than it would be to maintain
Also think
where they are.
They need to look at it like a vibe of the team as well. Like obviously you can put 4 talented players on the team, they just may not mesh. And I think that's a big thing too, is getting a good vibe around the team, outside the game and inside the game. I think that's so underrated, and especially the, I guess, bad teams. You go to any of these top teams, they have that vibe. They give that energy of like they know they're the better team. They have the confidence, and the outer game they mesh. And I think that's like another thing too, is that you can just you try to put 4 different challenger players from 4 different teams. I mean, 4 different teams on a team in the pro league, and they don't work well. Well, who would have thought like that? It just doesn't work like that. Like, oh, we can just hop at the scrims and then we're gonna all go to our bedrooms after this and not talk to each other. Well, yeah, we're gonna suck. So I think that's like that's a thing that's like definitely I think underrated. So I hope the Boston team, put together a team, because it would be dope to see them make the run. Get back into these points for champs and put up a fight, because I think in these newer CODs anybody can win. So that's also why I think the mentality should be different with a lot of these players, because these newer CODs have lower skill gaps, in my opinion, and anybody can beat anybody on any day. So I feel like the mentality of like being able to be better than the good teams as well should also be there. So good luck to them.
Yeah, no, you're on point.
Bro, it's chalked when Sturger got more points than you. Like, it's so chalked.
It's been a rough season.
Listen, you're closer to Cloud9 than you are Ravens. That is so chalked.
I didn't think it was this bad for Boston. Bro, watching them, it doesn't seem like. I mean, I didn't see the points in the standings, but they didn't look that bad.
Bro,
it's just the league is so mixy from like 3 down.
That's my point. I think this is the first time where I've ever seen it like this. Like, I don't know. Like, it is top heavy for the points again, obviously, because there has to be someone like that. But like I think this is the first time where it's gone to like Major 2, and I'm like, damn, this team's probably chalked. Like, genuinely. Yeah. Like,
it's like a team that should be good.
It's still only March.
Like Ken, 110 points doesn't even get you 8th place no more.
That's insane.
Wild, isn't it?
I mean, they did play a lot of games as Major 2 qualifiers, and I think this was a big, like, that's why it looks so dispersed like this. But that's why you got to perform at these LANs, bro. These LANs be.
Yeah, Toronto saved themselves with a good result here.
Bro, online, there's like LAG and Vanguard, for example. They won an event, didn't make champs. That's still one of the craziest things of all time. Crazy, but that's why, like you said, Trey, like you gotta be good online if you not go fry at these LANs. Like if you especially if you're not gonna make the LAN, that's another thing. Like if you're gonna miss out on the LAN, I mean, I don't know. It does look chalk for them because, like you said, closer to Cloud9 than Surge.
You're closer to challengers than you are to CDO. Like, that's the way I see it. No, but it's dead serious, though. It is dead serious, though. Like, on a real, like, motherfuckers can hate me, but, like, that's the truth of it, Yeah,
it is.
Like you said, Ken, like, you watch them play, they don't look bad. They look like they can beat some good competition. But they don't. They don't. They're 6-13. The only reason Vancouver are 6-15 it's because those motherfuckers made the play-in,
Yeah, they finessed the play-in somehow.
No, they finessed the spot.
Literally, they finessed the play-in. Now, listen, I will say, like, obviously, it would have been nice to have all 12 teams there. But listen, as much as I'm all for all 12 teams being there, it made the online matches more bearable to watch. There was a lot right.
There was some more shit.
I agreed. I do agree there for sure.
Let me hit a couple.
It was a lot of them, but like that was fire.
Thanks, Craig, for $4.99. Much appreciated. Mohammed says Ken making a return and saving Boston. And then Wooster said finally catching.
I mean, I think I would have to be on the sub to do that, and I don't know. Maybe the sub. Maybe sub Ken needs a return. Right? Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, you know what?
Don't be saying that, bro. You'd have a new.
The drama makes a fake sub anyway.
Man.
So
I can't support Boston, man. I can't do it.
Right, if Ken goes
Listen,
to
if you
Boston,
were-
wow, I would be gassed.
That
Ken
would
on
be
a
that would
sub,
be yeah.
Ken on a
Sub
sub with Afro.
with Afro?
Ooh, I can make. Wow, that might be.
Okay.
I might.
Might be
might
the
be
It's
best
funny. Me and
Rosie
Afro
champs of
almost
all
teamed. We
time.
almost teamed for W3. It was pretty close. I can't lie. If I didn't get the OpTic spot, it would have been me after Afro for sure.
Oh,
I don't know.
interesting.
Running running a sub does sound fun. I can't lie. The more I've been like on this little break, but I don't know. We'll see.
See what Boston have to say.
Hey, you did say it though.
See
you
how
did
much
say
money
it, man.
they got to.
If
they
you
got to
can't
offer.
join any team, then like you just ain't about it, bro. Like you ain't about it.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Bro,
That's actually great. Yeah.
Listen, you could just pull down the shirt a little bit, the Superman logo showing. You might save these motherfuckers.
Mm.
You get
Yeah.
the green light
That
so
would-
well.
hey.
Well, hey,
Back at it again.
or if you really want to challenge yourself, you can join the other team.
Ah, I saw him in the chat. I saw Arian in the chat. He told me something quite funny actually. He was like, he's like their mentality as a team. It's actually like I kind of fuck with it in a way. But basically, you said that their mentality as a team is just they have to win every search. Like they expect they expect to win 100% of searches, and if they lose a search, they know that it's chalked. So like their goal is just to win. But like they're trying to be the ultimate Neslo team, and I kind of fuck with it.
Their
cool.
call must be so demoralizing when they lose map 2.
Yeah.
No,
It's like DJs.
They're like,
I
all
mean,
right, boys, we're winning S&Ds only, lose that. So, all right, fuck, like.
See
they're
you
trying
next
to be
week.
go from there.
they're trying to be the best S&D team of all time.
Yeah,
They won.
yeah, they're trying to set records, man.
Hey,
Trying to
I
set
don't even know if
records.
that's a good mentality, to be honest with you.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we're just
it
scrimming
is
search
not.
all day and just hoping that we win a respawn. I kind of fuck with it.
But, hey, you can be good at something at least. We can take a small W. We're the best S&D team in the league. We just can't win a match. Well, all right. Well,
All right.
I don't
To be
know.
fair, they did it when they went. When they did it. I give them credit for like actually when they did get to game 5, they won both of them. Like they pushed Paris to 5, they beat him. They pushed Toronto to 5, they beat him. So like I give some respect to that, but
I mean, I do think they're a good S&D team. I'm not gonna lie.
No, they
I
are
think
good at it, yeah.
Hyde. I'll tip Hyde. I
Hyde's good
think
at
also
search.
think Nedra is pretty good. I think they're pretty talented, but they don't look like a team that's supposed to be in the league, respectfully. But
they just so believe they can win. That's the issue.
If this was the CMG CDL, these guys might be winning it.
true.
But unfortunately, it's not, and that's why they're rock bottom.
It is what it is.
It's tough.
As always, next year.
There is next year. There is next year.
We'll see
I don't know what next year.
2027.
Next year's supposed to be hinted at Sledgehammer. It might be a return. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Sledgehammer games, bro.
Okay.
Sledgehammer games. I can't miss out on the Sledgehammer year, right?
Ken's way too tempted. This is good. Okay.
Yo, Ken's got the itch.
Yes, he does have the
wish
itch.
I-
It's
Do
great.
it? I don't know.
I ran into
I
Ben
don't know.
Bance. Like Ben Bance, wow, he had the itch. I'm not saying he's
Yeah.
gonna come back, but like he was, because I don't know when the last time his Bance was at an event. Did he come to? Was he in Madrid? I don't know when. I'm not sure.
No, you weren't.
But like, because he was there and he was like, wow, this is fucking like, I wish I was competing.
Listen,
It's the lands, bro. It's the lands. You watch a land like that, and it's UK land. It's like, I'm missing out on the UK lands.
Bro, it's just it's fake dope though. It's fake.
It
like,
is. It is.
All the fans come up to me and like, yo, Trey, we want to see you on May, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'd love to. No, I don't. Yeah, I'd love to be up there shooting against the guys and that, but like, then everything else comes with it. The
Yeah.
losses online, the VOD watching, you got bullshitted because you got a different server, then you got to play scrims for 8 hours a day getting world star by Mercules. Like, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Oh, yeah, you're right back in. Like he was playing last year. Yeah. No, it was cool to see him anyway. But I do agree. Okay, let's talk about some of the other teams in the bracket. Actually, just quick comment on Bush. They had a bloody eventful few days in the UK. I mean, we can get Don's take on it when we're back, and we can like probably diagnose whatever the fuck was going on out there. But they,
Top 8 for the boys.
yeah, top 8's tough. I mean, they had How many people did they bring? Did they not have like 10 people?
They have a crew.
They have a crew.
They must have lost so much money this event just thinking about it.
They got like 12 people.
They got like 12 motherfuckers there. Bro, Jerry's flying Nicky numbers out and he's just gambling 24/7. We got them crashing cars. Like,
it's actually just a comedy show, man.
Bro, they also bought the bullshit too. That those cupboards were stocked. Those motherfuckers didn't eat shit from that cupboard.
Oh yeah, nah, the Airbnb was looking nice. Like...
Bro, did you see what they ate out that one night?
Yeah, I'd see with the smoke on the table and everything.
Yeah, bro. Bro, they rented out that part of the restaurant and then boom, top 8 out of nowhere.
They really thought that was the secret. Got to feed.
You gotta save the good. You gotta save the good eats for after, bro. You can't go before.
Sunday night, bro.
Yeah, bro. Listen. You have a decent.
It's a rookie
eat
mistake.
Before you play game day. You have a decent eat for game day. Nothing crazy. Nice little Italian restaurant or something like that. And then Sunday, if you have a good Sunday, you go crazy. If you don't, McDonald's in the room and then Cino.
Yeah, literally something quick so I can go. Yeah, I need a drink.
Literally that. But yeah, no, they got top 8. Obviously, we'll get some takes from Don when we next speak to him. Obviously, you're a very good friend of Don's. Ken, I don't know if you spoke to him at all.
No, I didn't speak to him about the event, like in terms of the bush. But he was kind of checked about a lot of other things outside of like the plane. That was pretty funny.
He turned up a day late. Like he was meant to fly.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was landing. I mean, it would have been Wednesday morning, but he landed on the day that we ended up doing the show. I was like, bloody hell, Don's actually, and that was the day that they went for food, I think. Yeah, that was that was the Thursday night. Yeah, I was like, damn, Don's been off a flight. He's probably not slept at all, and he's rocking up. He went to the pre-land, then he rocked up to do our show for like an hour and a half. Then he went to Jerry's kitchen. Like it was wow, yeah. That was a wild ride, but I don't know how they messed it up.
He also done a tweet basically saying, listen.
This is funny, actually.
Don was moving like Bieber this event. He couldn't.
Yeah, he was.
You're going crazy. I saw a tweet from, I can't remember what it was, but like, guys, can you, stop shouting my name or something like that when the boys are playing? And I'm sat there thinking like, Don must have motion in the UK. He must have a swarm of people at this station just at Donny Temp. Johnny.
Yeah, here it is.
For him to tweet that. I know what's going on. But
I can understand it. I'm not gonna lie, because thinking about if I was coaching, like if I'm in the middle of coaching my team's playing, like I don't want to take no pictures. I don't want to do none of that. Obviously, wait till after the game. I'm down. I've always been keen for taking pictures and meet and greets and stuff like that, but I don't know. I haven't coached before. I don't know how it was, but he was kind of complaining about that, and I respect it. I do understand it, but he was trying to make it seem like he was coming like Bieber. He thought he was him for a second.
I understand. Yeah.
When I was competing, like in a rush, like I always felt bad when people are
for sure.
So guess what? I did it. I fucking did it against everything against it. Yo, Trey, we need to be here at this time. I'm 5 minutes late. Well, why were you late? I can't say no, man. I just can't do it. Also, no one really showed up to our meet and greets, so like it was, we didn't really have that. No one really cared about UK guys.
Nah, I see.
No one really gives a fuck about us. Yeah, we showed up to one back in 2018, I think. 5 people rode up.
It goes back.
Oh, you want to hear a crazy one? When I was on OGLA, we had this thing where we had a meet and greet at like I think the LA King. I don't watch hockey, so whatever the hockey team is for LA. We got like a booth there, or like this room there to do a meet and greet. It was gassed up. It was supposed to be all like the teams, all the Immortals teams that they own.
Okay.
And so it was gassed up for months. And the day we're going there, we're in the bus. And I remember Eric Muddog like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I wasn't gonna tell y'all till this day, but there's only one fan that like bought a ticket. But I think it's because you had to buy a ticket to the game to come to the meet and greet, and not nobody, like a lot of people aren't hockey fans. So I understand, but it was literally one fan, like and I was like,
at least you turned up. At least you had one.
I mean, I still enjoyed the hockey game and everything, but it's just like, come on, you could have told us that.
That just
like
sums up the CDL, bro. That sums up year one of the CDL, so well.
Sure. I bet he felt like he just want a giveaway or something that he just want to.
He must have felt so guilty. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
he must have felt like he just want to give away to meet the OJLA boys and get a free ticket to the fucking hockey game. But realistically, he paid a shit ton of money, and he was the only motherfucker there. And it's even worse for the players because like you guys are like, oh shit, there should be like a bunch of people here. Like,
for sure.
One guy pulls up.
Bro. Oh, Steve to the chat. Yeah, no, I love Ari. The Mortal CEO Ari, I love him. He was great. It's just that moment, and then like they kind of did us wrong because I don't remember the lady's name, but we were taking like a big picture at all the teams, and I'm the shortest usually. I like to just go to the middle. Normally the shortest guy sits in the middle. Why would I stand on the end? And I go to the middle, and the lady moves me out the way, and she just goes, "Oh, we want the real Immortals players in the middle." And I was like, "Damn, I'm ass. Let me go stand."
Damn, you know what? Get me out of this fucking organization. Like.
And I know I watch League, so I respectfully, I'm like, they do not have more chips than me. So like,
right.
I don't know. That whole meet and greet situation was just not it. The best thing was the hockey game, and I'm not even a hockey fan, so.
No, that's a great story. Thanks, FaZe Splits, for the 8 Aussie as well. OpTic fans complaining about the format when FaZe had to put up with it for years. We'll get into that. For sure. Ooh. But yeah, Don definitely had some. I mean, I love the bit where he's like, "Do not chant my name." It's serious. Like, what? I mean, come on. Like, what do you mean?
Guys moving like Swift out here, you know?
Yeah.
That is unreal. Even if they aren't chanting your name, like, what is, I don't know. Like, come on, lock in, right?
I kind of get it, though. I think he wanted them to shout the players' names over his, which makes sense, but it's like, come on. Come on.
Like, that's what he's trying to say, but, like, by saying this, he's also, like, he's like subtly gassed himself that he was getting
for sure.
Players, you know? Yeah.
Like, guys, I don't want to be the main character. Like, I ain't probably the main character, guys. Like, gas him up. But like, low key, I'm kind of enjoying it. So like, don't stop. But like, if you do, like, just carry on. Like, I don't even care like that.
Yeah, that was it. That was it for sure. Okay, let's get back to the tournament. So we talked a little bit about Falcons with regard to Exnid. They get knocked out like super early. I mean, I don't know. I guess we talked about Falcons. Trey, I'm going to give the floor to you to talk about Heretics because they did it again. Congratulations. Look, there was some belief that they could make a run, but it didn't happen. They turned up. They lost to Paris. You could say format cheese. In fact, Rencor did say format cheese. I forgot about this tweet, but I'm going to bring it up.
Give a flying fuck.
No. I'm bringing up the Rencor tweet anyway.
No, I'm saying no. You can bring it up, but
I don't even.
You know, like, Ken, we're doing this thing again. Format cheese, like.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Can you win your fucking series and shut the fuck up? Like that's literally all it is. Like you've known about the format. You were second seed coming into the event, and guess what you've done? Not won a single match at the LAN event.
And they got 3-0 by Thieves, who were like, they weren't
like,
that good.
listen,
Let's be honest.
I'm sorry. Like, yeah, format cheese, call it whatever you want. But this Gentlemates team were horrible coming into this major. Horrible. And you've come here, yeah, you're playing for a win, whatever like that. I couldn't, like, bro, just start winning.
I'm telling you, that's the mentality nowadays. And then the thing is, too, is that before, like you were saying, like you could drop a 0.9 and win the series. People, like, see it, they get outslayed, they just lose. So, like, there's, like, no teamwork, no nothing. If we're just not warm, not shooting, we gonna lose. So that's the mentality of a lot of these teams. So when they're playing against a team that's shooting, they just feel like they can't beat them. I don't know. Listen, I don't get the format cheese, but I mean, I get the grand finals thing. I kind of understand that to a niche way, but blame the setup before the format. That's how I see it.
Oh,
like,
no, like I just look, if they, I don't know, if they somehow got cheesed into they only play one series and they had to play against a team that was hot because they just won and all this, it's like, okay, I get it, but then you got bopped out 3-0 by Thieves. Like we don't need to mention the format cheese in the tweet because it only makes, like, I don't know, it only makes you look bad as far as I'm concerned because you still got slapped by Thieves in the next game anyway. Like, where's the excuse for that one? There's no good excuse.
Why are we saying format cheese on the first day you're playing?
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. I do hear that.
bro, it's your first day playing at the major. You've lost and you've gone 4 matches. Like,
Yeah,
listen,
I'm
we
checked
gotta
out.
stop.
I got
We
pissed
gotta
on my
stop
Thieves.
making these fucking excuses. There is like, you shouldn't lose to these players. You shouldn't not these players. Like, they're fucking good players, but you shouldn't lose to that team after the stint you just went on online. Listen, if it's an online to LAN thing, just say that we didn't play very well like we used to, like we did online. That's our fault, not this format cheese. I'm sick of it. You know, listen. It's a kind of the same way that I kind of said like the format cheese in the finals where you don't get we don't get an advantage. Ken, that's fair. All right, you need it. Like, you should get an advantage, but like. People saying that like, they can't warm up before then. That's where the advantage in finals should come. But don't show up on a Thursday of the major, a Friday of the major, first game you play,
and
the mentality is, wow, we just lost that. This format's whack. Like,
And we're not playing on main stage our next series. It's cool. I'm a main stage player. Now. I play on this.
Didn't get the opportunity to play on main stage. I forgot you're all main stage beasts. Like,
Mate, there was more people on the side stage than there was at that fucking Miami tournament last year.
Ken, you know what I'm saying? I forgot you're a main stage demon.
For sure, we're just when the lights are the brightest, we're just there.
My bad, guys. I forgot you won so much on the main. Like, bro, fuck the format cheese. You're there first day. Like, I don't want to hear it. I
do think that's hell. I can't lie. I didn't even see this tweet. So, like, now that you bring it up, me reading it sounds insane. It's like,
show the fuck up.
You definitely got to show, especially when like, going into the tournament, who you could possibly play. And like you said, Gentlemates didn't look the best going into the tournament. They should have been super confident regardless going into this match. I feel like if that's in the back of their heads already, like, how are we playing them? They already warm. We lost anyways. It's already GG's. We might as well not even plug our controllers in.
Like, understandably, like, after the thing, but, like, they're all thinking that going into that Thieves match.
Yeah.
Like it's
and they
already.
outslayed the fuck out of Thieves anyway and still lost. Only goes to positive.
They did.
I know everyone's waiting for the Spanish COD talk, and it's still there. Great team online. Come here, shit the sheets. Blame the format. I mean, it's realistically all it is. Let's be honest with you. LA Thieves, Gentlemates, all these players, teams, they weren't playing the greatest online, came out and they still done their thing. Gentlemates had a little bit of a rough event, obviously. Thieves had a better event, but guess what they did? They came here, shut the fuck up, and just played. Like, that's what they did.
Hey, you said, though, you gotta play. You gotta have a different play style on LAN, and that's probably one thing Miami did not adapt to was the play style on LAN, because they did outslay the hell out of them this series, and they lost. So I mean, realistically, how you call it
1.11, 1.05, and you lose a series. Like, I can't help you with that, guys. I really can't. That's not main stage. That's not lights the brightest. That's just you guys kill whoring. Like, realistically.
I mean, yeah, it is.
And guess what? You lost your bread and butter on LAN. You lost your bread and butter. You lost your S&Ds against LA Thieves. I can't help you. Like,
I can't believe this one.
Go back to the drawing board. Something ain't right on LAN. Boom, done and dusted. Call me. You can call me out on Twitter. You can say I'm a piece of shit, whatever you want. I'm just speaking facts right now.
No, I can hear this one. Like I said, I usually like to, help people out and kind of think about all the situation, but I don't think there's a situation here where the format was, if they got 3-0 slammed, they couldn't get a kill. Understandably. Maybe you shouldn't have played a warm-up team, but like, bro, you can't outslay a team and lose and not think that you're obviously playing the game incorrectly, realistically. Obviously, it's hard to regain and, play a loser bracket match after, whatever. But like, you can't call format cheese on day one. Day one format cheese is insane, especially when you're going in. You got days in advance to prepare for that match. You already know what's going on. You already know how it's set up. I think that's just a bad mentality, like you said. So, and they are just kill horn with that first match because you can't just have that many greens on the scoreboard and lose.
That many greens is insane. And then call format cheese. No, kill whore cheese. Like, that's literally, like, listen, that's what I want people to, like, start taking accountability for. Like, Super was a 1.2 online, comes to LAN 1.02. Like, there's accountability factor got to start going around here that you've got to change the way you play online. Like, that's the way it is. And guess what? I had them coming second this event. So it's not even buying into my agenda. It's not like I said they were going to get shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing really fucking well this event. But
Same.
that tweet of Rencor, like, just sparked something inside of like that's the biggest cop out answer of all time, to say you guys ain't as good at LAN as you are online. Like, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I hear that. Thanks for a couple of super chats as well. Upcast line and FaZe Split talking about the Toronto boys, and that Upcast line is the biggest Insight hater going. But unfortunately, he got humbled this weekend because Jamie Insight, wow, what a character on the main stage, and he's here to stay, baby. He's here to stay. So Miami, they get bobbed out of the tournament very swiftly, and Thieves made a bit of a run. To be fair, I actually did have another tweet. This is less bad, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this as well. So Thieves end up losing on the Sunday. They did make it to the Sunday. And they go out, and Abizi says, "What a terrible way to end the tournament. We know we are way better than we showed today, which is so frustrating. Ended up getting sick for the whole event, which was unfortunate, but that's no excuse for our performance." I love these tweets, bro. I love these tweets. Because I'm like, okay, look, in my opinion, if you're going to say, if you're going to throw out the we were sick excuse, which is fair. If you were sick, you weren't playing your best stuff, maybe that's why you didn't deliver. Okay, sure. But it's still an excuse. Like, you're still saying... this happened, and therefore we didn't win. So don't say no excuse. Just leave it. Just say I was sick. Just say we were sick. Leave out the second part of the sentence. That's okay. I don't mind it. I just like, I don't know. These always annoy me a little bit. I'm like, come on, like let's be serious. Like Mercury.
I get what you're saying. You're saying like leave out the
just leave out the
part where they
excuse.
said no excuse.
Just
Okay.
accept that it's an excuse. That's fine. Like accept that it's a caveat. That's all good.
Yeah.
Just don't pretend it's no. I don't, whatever.
I do hear that though. I think getting sick is like one of the worst things at an event. Like outside of like obviously in-game like PC stuff, getting sick can be super, super hell. I think last year, Major 4, whatever the last major was, where I was on G2 and we had to play well to like make champs. I had the flu. Like I felt so bad, but I was giving it my hardest. Like I was going over and beyond. I was doing extra stuff, like taking extra amounts of caffeine. Like I'm just overly doing it to make me feel better. So I get it. And I think it does suck because I think they placed better this event than we did Major 1. So I feel like it is kind of like you said, pointless to put that part of like saying no excuse, because getting sick is an excuse. It's a pretty good one, but at the end of the day, I don't think, like you said, it probably wasn't needed for this tweet. Agreed.
I mean, it is what it is. Scrap says, out of Major 2, super frustrating, losing to teams we are way better than. When we're at our best, no one can fuck with us. Scrap was wilding out on the main stage as well when they won that
series.
Like that
tweet.
It was good about.
That's a good tweet.
No, it's a good tweet. I like this tweet.
I just think, bro, I don't know. LAT, they looked good this event. Neum looked good. I think a lot of people like expect me to hate watch on them. I don't hate watch. I have no hate towards the players at all. I enjoyed my time on the team. Obviously didn't perform well, but I think they looked good. I just think I don't know what their issue is just from outside looking in. I think realistically, they do need to be a little bit quicker with some of their like decision makings, and especially like on breaks. I feel like they go for like a lot of ideal perfect breaks, which is obviously good. But they're such a talented team that it should just be at the same time. Let's just use our talent, use it together. But I also just think that like this event, they just came out flat on Sunday. It just looked like a flat Thieves. Like from what they were showing the whole event, it just looked flat. So it's just unfortunate because it's the most like important day of the event to show up is that Sunday, and they just came out flat. So I don't think it like was a terrible showing for them for the event. And I think they got a lot of good things to like build off of. And like I said, I think Neum's been performing really, really well for them. And I'm happy for him because that's my boy. People want me to hate on Neum, but that's my boy. I've been trying to get him in the gym with me, but he be sketching on the gym session all the time. But yeah, I think they performed pretty well. It just sucks that like they came out flat and they were playing a hot team that apparently had the UK buff.
Yeah, it is what it is. Unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really to be said. They came out, got their place in. What was it, 4th?
Yeah, 4th.
And they probably and the talent on the team's crazy. Like really good talent. I think they're still struggling to put it together, put it to great use. But they finally showed how they can do that this event. There was a clip that someone tweeted about. Was it Hydra not checking close left when someone was screaming?
Oh,
left
the
and
calm thing.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't know if you have that. We don't even need to bring it up. But I think it's like small things like
Mate,
that.
you
on
know
a team
me. You know me. Look at this shit. It's
Hey,
right
you got
here.
it.
I got it like
You got
that.
it. I think the only thing you can really say about this is just like in the moment you're a top player, a top team, one of the greats. Like these things you can't let these things slide. Like as a competitor too. Not only can I assume if you called out left and someone looked right after you died and didn't get your trade and you saw it on the mini map, you're not gonna say anything, but you just
Definitely
in your
check.
head, in your head you're gonna be like, damn bro, like this guy, my player don't know his left and rights. Like we got an issue here, So obviously, I don't think it's a crazy thing, but like even on this hill here, they're winning the map. They could have definitely done a lot more with this hill if that didn't happen. Just a minor thing that could I felt turn into like a major consequence. But in the moment, that's just how it is. I can't really.
One thing I will say, and I'll vouch for Paco here. He won't look at this and look at it any other way. Just like how we're looking at it, like he would just probably call himself like he'd just be like, I'll just brain that. I didn't listen or I didn't hear. Or like the only thing I can probably think of is that like maybe he thought the guy wall bounced over his head and that was just what he was thinking in the moment. But like you said, this is just uncalled for. Like it's just one of those things where you go back in the day, it's like your teammate tells you to do something or like says something, you just do it. And at least you have at the end of the day the cop out of, well, he told me to do it. Like, oh, yo, hit A, and I go die. I'm like, well, Trey told me to hit A, so I just was listening. I was being a good teammate.
No one can say anything either. Like, no one can.
Yeah,
say
exactly. If Hydra takes right and he's left, it's like, well, Neum said right.
Neum dumb as hell, bro. Blame Neum on that one. Blame Neum, and then all of it. Then you got 3 people looking at Neum like, damn, Neum, like, bro, you just
why you say
crossed it,
right, bro?
What made you say right, bro? Like,
but now, because then Neum could be like, he wall jumped over me. But now, Hydra looked dumb as hell.
Now like you don't listen. Yeah.
No one's left and right. Didn't listen. Everyone's like, Paco, damn, bro. Neum's like, bro, I called it, bro. Like, bro ain't listening. No, I
wonder how much of this shit happens that we never get to see, right? Because like this is the perfect observer cam. Like they went to a listening, so we got to hear the listening, and we just happened to be on Neum's POV with the of all the possible POVs to see this like chef's kiss moment of Hydra just flying and looking the wrong way. So like this just happen all the time.
I think the cherry on top. The cherry on top is Paco saying, yeah, close right. Like after him like saying like, yeah, close right. Like I mean, like that's like the cherry on top.
Can I promise you if that scrims and that happens to me and Hydra goes, yeah, he's close right. I'm like, yeah, I told you, fuck face. Like I told you he was like, I said that.
That's the one thing about this team. They're super like vocal and it's funny because it's fun. It's good. It's like super critical, super vocal, like, and they don't sugarcoat anything. So it's like, it's not like a harsh environment. It's not like, it's just fun. You know what I mean? Like right there, if it was Ernie probably be like, Paco just went brain dead and didn't check close right. I told him close right. And like, that's just like a lot of things that we had. And that's why I gassed our outer game and team chemistry. And that was probably the main thing, like stuck for me, like being dropped off the team was that I actually was enjoying the team a lot in terms of like criticism. So like,
it sounds like your side kind of environment.
I feel like here, like I said, I don't think they would have thought no differently. They probably roasted each other about it and moved on. I mean, bro, like it is a bad like thing to have. Like if you're not listening, if you have multiple instances where you're not listening to me, I'm checked. Like, are we trying? Like, I'll say some shit like that. Yo, are we trying today? Like, I swear I called out close right like 8 times. You ain't hear me? Like, now one thing I did on GT was like, am my mic muted? Like,
That's great, That's great.
Ken, I used to do it on my London team, but like I used to tap the mic, be like, yo, is this thing on? Like, are we good?
You obviously can't do that in the middle of a match, but like if that was a scrim, I would have just been like, yo, hello? Can y'all hear me? My mic muted? Like, what's going on? But no, I think it's a bad thing. And like you said, it just sucks because it's like this is the most important day to perform, and that was just like the worst moment for it to happen. Like the listening goes in and it's clear as day, Neum saying close right, and then he doesn't check it. But yeah, I don't think like Paco is obviously purposely ignoring him, but it's just it's a bad clip for sure. It doesn't help.
What's your situation, I guess, on like Abizi and Hydra? Because I find it really interesting. Like Abizi's been probably the player getting I don't know if he's the player getting the most criticism, or maybe that's Hydra. but it's one of the two anyway. Like I just find this scoreboard. Where's the scoreboard? It's the one they beat G2. Like it's a very interesting scoreboard. I know they won this series, so it doesn't massively matter. But Abizi has basically the lowest damage in the lobby. He has 66 kills. Everyone else has like 80. And it's just that's not the Abizi that I know, you know? Like even on a win.
And
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
the thing. It could be seen as a bad and good thing because here's the thing. A lot of people would be like, well, you can't have Abizi and Hydra on the same team. They're too much the same player. No, they are not. Any pro player will tell you Paco and Abizi do not play the same at all. They might be more different than they are the same. And I think right here is just like, I don't know, from just teaming with Tyler, I feel like he's getting into a different bag, a more team environment bag, like team oriented bag. Because a lot of times when you watch their games, he has like most of the hill time. So I think people are like, that's the thing that sucks about like evolving your game or changing your game is that people only know the one you like. Even to this day, people are like, well, Ken was just like the hard carry or two. It's like, bro, that's just not my bag no more. I don't have Lamar on my team giving me the green light. I don't like, I need to be more team oriented. I need to do things for the team. And I feel like, yes, he hasn't been performing, but it's also hard to just, change your game. And I think he sees that as like, the winning, I guess, formula for them is to change his play style and play differently. Because obviously people sees him like, he's not even in like the top opening bloods or opening duels like first blood. And he's the first blood king. So I don't know. I think they just need to find a dynamic that works for them. And it sucks because, like you said, you have Paco and you have Scrap. They don't have like a lot of hill time. So somebody has to get the hill time.
They've
And
definitely been doing a bit more of it though, this stage.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. They're still trying to find a dynamic, and they just got to find a system that works for them, especially in respawns, because they should be a good respawn team. And that's the thing that sucks is that right now it's like it doesn't look good on the scoreboard because it's not meshing. It's not working right now. But I don't know. I think they do work well just from being on the team. They're not like complete opposites, or they are damn sure not the same. I can tell you that. I will say though, I think Abizi has a more slow approach to this game than he previously did. People call him out for like running AR all the time, and just from watching, I mean, he does look a little bit more comfortable with AR at times. But I don't think that has nothing to do with it. I think that's the thing about games nowadays. You need to be able to run both guns. There's no issue with that. There's no issue with pulling AR and you feel like you need to pull out AR. That was one thing that Ant would always gas himself about Shotzi, was that he thought he was the best at like being able to like read the decisions or the timings on the map where he needed to pull out AR. And teaming with him, he was like he read the pace of the map pretty well. So I just think right now they just need to get a good mixture. It doesn't have to always be one guy getting the hill time all the time. And I definitely think that once they get it down, they'll be great. I don't know what is taking it so much time, because Neum is obviously playing pretty well. And by pretty well, this is better than what I was playing. But I don't know. I don't think it's like, I think there's nobody to really blame. There's no, like, you can't, like, people can't just keep sitting here blaming. You just got to, like, give them time. Because they placed better than they did the first event, and you got to take your small W's. As much as you want to see this team as a winning team, they should be competing in grand finals. They just not there yet. Give them time. That's just all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, you know about it more than a lot of us do, Ken. Obviously, you was on the team. Yeah, I think from here on out, if they had a bad event, they'd be probably looking into a team change, maybe.
Yeah.
Just because things ain't working out. But I think this event kind of like proved that they're not as bad as maybe they think they are in terms of how their online results and how other people perceive them too. I guess we're going to see how they play during this split. I doubt there's a team change inbound for them, especially with how they saw other teams perform this event, especially with Scrap's tweet basically saying like, we know we're better than all these players, we're all these teams. I think they just got to go back, hit the drawing board, and work on what they've got going on right now, because it's pretty good. And I think that Neum being their, in my opinion, one of their best players in their team right now, if not the best consistency-wise, is a good thing, because it's not like they didn't just replace him with you and he's not playing good, so it's like we got to replace him.
Exactly.
I think all three of them need to look at each other and be like, right, now we need to step up for the guy that we just brought on. And I think they've got a good balance of players to do that with.
And that's the thing. Scrims are probably going great for them too. So like we had good scrims, I would say. I just think the one thing that we missed out on from our scrims and matches was our pacing. Like I feel like our pacing and scrim was so much faster than it was in matches. And it obviously needs to be a medium because sometimes matches can feel a lot slower. And like you said, the play styles can be different on LAN. But I just think, like you said, they just need to get on the same page, find what works for them, and they're too talented. That's what everybody always says, is like teams are too talented not to work. But sometimes it's just nothing you do works. That's how it felt that's how it felt 0-18 is like, we just won champs. We can't find nothing that works, and we just could not get on the same page. And as much as people want to throw blame here and there, it just be like that sometimes. We not on the same page. That's fine. Move on. Like, I just think that, like you said, that people see people at their peaks and think highly of them and their standards and only keep them at that standard. Whereas, like, I do think Tyler, BZ is like has a different role in this team than he did on his FaZe team. And I think people need to start realizing that, and obviously understand that, like, maybe his stats might drop a tiny bit from where he used to be. I do think for their S&D, I mean, their S&D has been great, and he hasn't even been the one getting the first bloods, but that's because you have Paka. They need to, sometimes they need to switch on and off about who's going to do what. And I think they have a good idea on that because their S&D was great. But I think that's the thing about Respawn. They need to figure out that part of the Respawn. It's like figuring out the pacing of, I guess, those two, if that's, what the issue is. But I think Ernie's been performing. I don't think he really played that good in the Toronto series. He had a lot of damage, not many kills. But like I said, I just think they came out flat. I don't think this match really showed how bad they were or how whatever they were. I just think they spoke a lot to Toronto because I think Toronto came out, showed out. They came out hot, and Thieves got caught off guard. And that was another thing, too, about Thieves is that when I was on the team, we would always come out slow. This team's been starting out really hot, and I feel like they did not this day. So
no,
I don't know. I think,
not.
like you said, Neum being one of their best players is a good thing for them. They need to build on that, and I think this online stage will be different for them.
Couple of good super chats. Thanks, Luke, for the 2 as well. Maybe Abe is a simp merchant, only good with simp. It actually aligns with what Banton said for the 10 about, like, Abizi's been on FaZe for a long time. It's obviously an adjustment period, right?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, like, when Scrap says losing to teams that we know, because they lost to FaZe in 5, and then they lost to Toronto. And okay, sure, they think they're better than Toronto, that's fine. But FaZe did win the tournament, right? So when Scrap says we're losing to teams we are way better than. And also going into the tournament, we saw, like, the players, the CD asked them to predict who's going to be top 3. And Ghosty didn't say himself, which he actually nailed. He was bang on, to be fair to him. But pretty much everyone said OpTic and FaZe. Like, it was a feeling that FaZe were, from some of the guys I spoke to this weekend as well, they're pretty much saying that FaZe, they're not, at least in scrims and everything, they're not quite at OpTic's level, but everyone agreed that they were, like, clear number 2. Like, based on scrims and based on the feeling of the teams going into the event. So, like, I don't know, maybe Thieves are, like, occasionally just godlike in scrims, but it didn't feel like they were, like, this kind of, when we're at our best, no one could fuck with this thing from Scrap. It's like, okay, but where have we seen that? We're not seeing it in a match yet. So it must be hiding in there somewhere.
Only thing I'll give them for the facing is that they did get reverse swept. So they probably, like, every time you get reverse swept, you feel like, bro, we should have won. You know what I mean? Like, every time you get reverse swept
as well. So
that's true. That's true. And like I said, I think at the end of the day, bro, Ernie's one of the most competent people. Sometimes can be delusional, but it's great. You need to have this on the team. I mean, for overall vibe of the team and morale. But I think the last part of it is the biggest part. They need to find some consistency going into the back half of the year. That's pretty much it. It's like it's hard to have them all, like, in these games nowadays, it's hard to have everybody be frying on the same day. That's a hard thing to have. Like, even in the grand finals, like, I think if Draws played well in the grand finals, he would have been MVP. He played so well the whole event. He didn't have a shit finals. He just didn't fry. That's fine. But you need to have a good system that, like, you don't need everybody to fry to be good. So I think that's just the one thing they're probably going to be working on, looking at and trying to figure out. And it's probably something that's going well in scrims for them. And that's why he feels like at their best, they can't be fucked with, because in scrims, they probably frying.
Before we talk about the finals, let's talk about Paris, because we did discuss the fan base related drama. But they turn up to the tournament, they take down Ravens in the first round, they make it to the bracket, they then beat Miami. So it's like, okay, they might be serious. The Lanimals, they're back. And then they played FaZe, and they got absolutely smoked by FaZe, really. I mean, especially the search was just like, you can't get 6-0'd like that. Especially after, I mean, obviously we're going to talk about FaZe, but Abuza drops 45, map 1. Yeah, look, we know that Paris Trade, they've had a difficult run the last few weeks. Stuff inside the game, stuff outside the game. They didn't look great coming into the tournament. No different massively when they turned up here. It was like the first series was good, but after that it was kind of just business as usual. So I don't know. People obviously are going to talk about, well, do they need to make some sort of change? But I don't know. My gut feel is they're still a team that won a championship not long ago, but I don't know what happened here exactly.
I mean, yeah, I think go ahead, Trey. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, we had this little discussion on the live show. I feel like this is just the same situation with the Vanguard, the Thieves team. Sat there, not playing the greatest, but sticking it out because the team, like, you got faith in each other. You got a lot of faith in each other. And I feel like this team, even though Envoy's not having the greatest of online matches, Sib's still tweeting out about how good he is, pretty much saying, like, shut the fuck up, basically. They've had their issues online and some out of game factors, which is why I always say, like, you can talk about what you see in game, but, like, don't go personal because you don't know what's going on outside of it. And that's what I won't ever come at someone personally for how they're playing, like some people do. This is strictly COD.
True.
Respectfully, all of them didn't have a very good, online stint. I feel like Sib was playing the best out of them all. He was still putting up some really good numbers. What I would do if I was them, if they still believe in each other, keep this team rolling. I don't really see who they can pick up, which makes the team better. I think they've all just got to get better as a team and individually. As long as they still have the belief, they should keep it going. Like I said, I always look at that LA Thieves Vanguard team and think, like, when you've got a really good foundation of players that believe in each other, you can still win events and the biggest events. So that's what I would stand on for this team.
For sure. I think, to speak on that, because I was on the team, and that's why I keep bringing up scrims, and a lot of people be like, well, scrims don't matter. And it's not about scrims don't matter. It's like the winning scrims doesn't matter. It's what you bring to the scrims and how things look and if things are even getting better. And that's why, like, even when we went 0-5, we kept our team because, like, we were playing pretty well in scrims. Things were going well. Matches just weren't. And I don't know what happened personally with them or anything, but it obviously changed the dynamic of this team. And I think they just need to get back. And in this moment, they probably just need to go back to the basics. That's the main thing that a lot of teams forget about after they win is the basics, because then you try to do step 3 and step 1 isn't even working no more. And I think they need to get back to their delusional confident self because, in my opinion, for over half of this game so far, I guess, they were the only team that had the pace, had the same pace as OpTic in respawns in terms of, like, fast pace, super fast decision making, good teamwork, and it just looks lackluster. And that's why all of the KDs drop. Even in Vanguard, we learned the game together, got on the same page. Our pace is all at the same. All of our KDs went up. That's just a normal thing. Like, whenever the team's playing great COD, especially fundamentally, everybody's KD's gonna go up. You all have equal chances of, like, having a map that you fry. And so I think right now, I do think it's dependent on Neptune. I feel like Neptune hasn't been looking like Major 1 Nep. And obviously he had out of game stuff going on. So hopefully they can, get past this event as a team and stay confident in each other and bring it back this online split, because obviously they're a great team and I want to see great matches. That's just me. And we can't just have only OpTic and FaZe. I feel like FaZe was the only team.
He was like, OpTic and FaZe gave us great series, some high quality cards, but we didn't really have anyone else that really stepped up,
Exactly. So, and they're a team that you want. Like, like I said, they're a fast-paced team. So them versus OpTic on the map looks like a banger. It is a banger whenever Gentlemates is on form. So I feel like you said, Trey, I do agree that you got to stay confident. And I don't see a point in changing this roster at all, unless it's some out-of-game stuff that, like, people hate each other. That's the only time teams like this change, is as, like, something out the game is, like, headbutting or, like, somebody just not helping the team morale-wise or vibe-wise. But if Dante's going on stream and still talking highly of his teammates, I think that's great. So,
Yeah, look, we've seen it in Modern Warfare 2. I'll just say real quick, Trey. Like, the Subliners team, right? Like, they are kind of the model that Gentlemates will hope to replicate. Like, obviously, Thieves Vanguard is another example, but you guys made the role change. You brought in Shane as the coach, so like you'd switched up a couple of things. Whereas the Subliners Vanguard team or the Modern Warfare 2 team, like they won the first event of the year, then they fell off pretty bad. I don't know, they had a couple like top 8s, and I think in there, and then they came back at the end of the year, won Major 4, and then won Champs. So it can be done. Obviously, that team with Hydra, Kiz, Skies, and Priester is quite different in composition and in personalities to this team, but it can be done. Where like they I don't think they're ever going to come out and win this event again. Like the chances of going back to back, certainly after winning the first major, is just super difficult to do. So I think they need to recognize that like it's okay. Like it's not an absolute disaster, but I know that they've just sold 30,000 tickets for Major 4 in Paris. Like they're like there's some level of pressure. They need to be good by then. They got to be good by then. No excuses. But sorry, Trey, what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, you know, everyone's got to realize as well. A lot of this team is like players. I'm not saying that players didn't want Ken, but like didn't really have the offer. Like Neptune came away from Surge and probably was expecting like a bunch of offers and whatever like that. But I heard like he didn't have that many offers, and this was his one. You know, Ghosty also got, you know, dropped again. So like, is that like this team isn't just a team that's like, you know, got a bunch of players on it who everyone wanted, and they still got like shit to prove as a team. So as individual players. So realistically, I don't see anyone who joins this team and makes it better.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. That's why I don't think you can do anything.
People easily go to Deal, but I'll always. Deal's just one of the most winningest players in CDL, and he does sometimes have bad stints. But when you're a team player like that, and the team's not going through a great patch, it's gonna look like that. I do think Deal always has a mentality of the bounce back, like that bounce back mentality. I think he has it in him. It's just more on the team, like I said, as a whole, just outside the game. That's where I think the outside the game thing, and I'll keep repeating it because I think it's a major aspect for great teams. Is when that's going to matter. Like, how are they vibing outside the game? And are they okay with, like you said, Reb, like chalking up to this event to like, it's okay. We had a bad event. Move on. Let's lock in for the next major. So, like I said, I expect them to start out hot in these next qualifiers. I think it's a worrisome if they don't. That's all.
No, agreed. Okay, let's talk about the big one. Actually, just before we get there, thanks to PrizePicks for sponsoring the content. As always, if you guys want to get involved, use code Breaking Point, top line, link in the description. Claim $50 in your first $5 lineup. I had a couple of screenshots here from the other day. Obviously, Don was in person, so you know we don't have any Don lines on the weekend. So more important things happening for him. But this is me in the hotel room doing a little pre-show this weekend. There's a couple of interesting ones. I just wanted to see really what things were looking like because Merc was a plus minus 1.15 for this series. I just think as we go into the finals, Ken, like I'd love your take on Hook as a player this season because I find Hook's such an interesting player. I was talking with Merc about this. Like not Caster Merc, not Mercury.
Yeah.
Like about how Hook is playing at basically his best level, but this is like year 12, year 11.
Exactly.
I mean, you started playing with him back in
like
on that team, Justice was it or whatever it was, back in Advanced Warfare.
That's the thing about Kyler, and I was saying this on stream, is that like it's so hard to mature your game so late in your career that I think his game is matured to hit like times 10. Like he used to be always just a run it down, I would say kind of headless, you know, just talent, just gun you out of nowhere. I feel like he just taking on this more leadership. His comms are fantastic. I always preach good comms. I mean, even when I team with them, Kyler always brought a great vibe. I feel like the thing about Kyler now is just like he's so calm and I guess reliable for this team that it's so needed that it works for them because Brandon and Ant, I would say when I team with them, they're not the best communicators. They just aren't. They do have high energy at times for good matches, but you know, they aren't the ones calming the game plan. And I think that Kyler has matured into that type of player, which is kind of funny because he was never seen as that player. And it's definitely a feat that should be praised because I think it's a hard thing to do. A lot of players just can't. And like I said, that's another thing about the kind of going back to the LAT thing is that like it's just worked in the, I guess, good way for Kyler, that he's matured his game, evolved his game, and changed how he used to play, and it's worked for this team. Sometimes it just doesn't work. So, like I said, that's why I think it should be praised because he found the formula he needed to have this OpTic team be great. He's done it to the best. I had him at Major 2 MVP or just Stage 2 MVP and just the whole stage. Obviously, he didn't play too good at the event. I don't think he played crazy, but that shows how good their teamwork and how good they are as a team is that they still made the finals and not everybody was, playing their best. So
let's get into it then. The grand finals, OpTic versus FaZe. Obviously, a few talking points here. We'll talk about the teams themselves first, and then we'll talk about some of the controversy around the tournament more generally. Look, OpTic made another phenomenal run through the winners bracket. I mean, they just, especially the Toronto series, because as it turned out, Toronto were pretty good. And I mean, G2 was probably more compelling in a way, but like the way that OpTic won the game one, it was a competitive map one, and then they just kind of pulled away towards the end of it. I mean, yeah, Merc game one had a pretty good game. Shotzi actually, it was a Shotzi takeover map, to be fair, to him. And then OpTic keep making the run through the bracket. They did it last event. They've done it this event. I mean, I thought maybe they were going to make the finals again without losing a map. They handled G2 with no problem. This FaZe series was really interesting in the winners final. But I mean, like, look at the slaying that they did here in the winners final. This is like what's, again, kind of surprising about what happened when we got to the final, is that 0-4 in this series had a 0.77. And in the finals, you can basically double that.
Yeah.
So, but like a lot of that was the Scar, which was not played in the final. FaZe made sure that was not in there, which was wise.
For sure.
Equally, I don't know. I don't think they should be able to choose personally. Like, I think if there's going to be no 1-0 advantage, then you should just get you just choose every map. But whatever, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, the Scar Harpoon was in the series, but OpTic won all the respawns and lost the search. Whereas in the finals, it was totally the other story. So, look, I think FaZe deserve a lot of credit as well for their run. I feel like it was inevitable that at some point, a Boozer and 0-4 were going to get a win. The other thing I want to say on FaZe is that every time I see Matt Fisher with that team, he's like their performance coach, for those who aren't aware. Yeah.
He's a goat.
Right. Look, if there was one guy who
This is a goat,
I would be confident to say would help a Boozer and 0-4 get over their issues in finals, I was like, he's going to be the guy to do it. I could tell this was true after the Thieves series. Like, they go down 2-0 to Thieves. Thieves thought they had that shit in the bag, 100%. But, like, I'm telling you, without Fish and the guys they've got over there behind the scenes at FaZe, they ain't reverse sweeping that. And they ain't winning this finals. So, like, I don't want to bang on about performance coaching again, but, like, I think it's, especially for these players, that's been a big deal. Like, to see 0-4 and a Boozer turn up in the way that I have, certainly 0-4 in the finals, like, that will be part of it. Anyway, that's my opening thoughts.
I think performance coach in general are big. Like, when on my G2 team, we were losing all the game fives, I talked to the coaches in G2 about getting us a performance coach. We got one because I thought that's what we needed. We just could not clutch up and win, game five. So, I mean, I think Fish is a go. I love Fish. Great guy. He definitely is helping them a lot because they looked like a different team in this grand finals. 0-4 win. Great performance. It's so hard to perform. Like, I always preach this because the grand finals match is such a different match than any other match in the tournament. Obviously, that's super, super obvious, but it's in terms of how you play the game, certain plays being made. Like, there's so many different things that happen in the finals that are crazy, and like, it just looked like nothing could go wrong for 0-4. Like, every single play he made was just right. So, I don't know what cheese anybody wants to call it, but I'll call it the twin cheese.
Yeah, I like that.
The BBL bandit strikes in the finals. It's just how it is, man. Yeah, no, listen, it was a great great finals realistically. I mean, we can all say that. Obviously, we had OpTic winning the event. Well, at least I did. Just even before the event, they just looked like the best team. I did say to my girl, because she said FaZe or Koi, and I was like, FaZe are gonna give the best finals, I think, against OpTic. Like all the time, we're talking Simp. I think Simp's really fucking good. That goes without saying.
Simp's good.
He's still, like, he's just so fucking good. I think him even being able to just like leave.
This is an aura tournament. Like, this is a legacy tournament for Simp, by the way. Like, after breaking up the trio, he comes out and just wins that shit after people were talking shit on his team.
A lot of people aren't really understanding the level of it. Breaking up the trio who he's been with ever since the CDO started. Obviously, he was with a BZ before the CDO started too, on Black Ops 4 with a United. Taking him in there, winning all these tournaments, winning champs, picking up the prime Silver Surfers from last year, coming into this year, giving them their first tournament win. Like, that's aura. Like, he just walks off the stage aura farming. Like, it's insane. And doing it against this OpTic team who people have been saying that, like, could be better than the Dynasty. Now, obviously, you know, we have a lot of talk about the finals and how the format is. Now, if you want to talk about format cheese, then you can probably talk about the finals, just because of, like Kenny said, how big it is. Like, the finals is a different ball game. We know we've been in the finals, you know, a few times, right, Ken? We've been in the finals a few times. You definitely won a little bit more than me, though. So, like, it's right, though. But yeah, different ball game. You know, Zinni had a tweet up basically saying that the league stopped them. Basically said, no, you're not allowed to scrim the Huntsman. I don't know what your take on it is, Ken. My take on it is, I would like to scrim the Huntsman because FaZe are up there playing a fucking all or nothing match before the finals. I would like to at least get a little scrimming against some competition.
See, and that's the thing about the format. I mean, people can call format cheese. People should have like a winners bracket, should have like an advantage. My take on the format is that if you have a deeper map pool, this format benefits you a shit ton. Like, so I think that the issue is at the warm up, like, oh, we're just sitting here watching them and they're playing a match that's going to get their adrenaline up 10 times and we don't even get to play. We're sitting here watching. They should be able to warm up. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure for some of my finals, I've warmed up against teams. There's one time, I won't say which time it was, but a team that needed us to win warmed us up. So, like, it do be happening. I don't know what happened this time or why they couldn't, like, what, like, were they just back there pulling plugs? Like, what is going on? But they should be able to scrim whoever they want to scrim. Even if a team out the tournament came and wanted to scrim, then what's the issue? Like, they're on the match playing the match. They're on the stage playing the match. We're going to just sit here and just watch, and hopefully we show up whenever the match starts because it's the biggest match of the tournament. So I don't know. It does suck. I don't think that has nothing to do with the format.
I only wonder, like, because Sean says it in the chat, and I also wondered this because I know the challengers teams, there was some, like, I don't know if they would have had the access to get backstage, because, like, these tournaments are funny like that, especially the DreamHacks. Like, we ran into it on the first day as well, because our media passes, like, they get you in the front door, but that's about it. Media passes this year are fucking irrelevant. They don't do anything. You cannot do any media with a media pass. Both majors, it's been the same way. Like, it gets you in the event, and then what? Unless I've got a fucking lens, like I'm saying, to take a picture of the moon, maybe I can do some media from the back of the room. Like, so we took us hours to sort that out.
I tried, off topic, try to get my little nephew and me in to watch some of the games. Obviously, he's 10 weeks old. He don't even give a fuck about COD, but I'm Aura farming with the nephew. You know what I'm saying? I'm Aura farming.
Project Zero.
Yeah, I get stopped before I go in there. He said, I said, I got media. He goes, nah, that's not the right pass. You need a CDL media pass. And I'm sitting there looking at my pass. It says Call of Duty League Major 2 Birmingham. And I'm sitting there thinking, is that not Call of Duty League or am I fucking twisted? And he's looking at me like I'm fucking dumb. And I'm looking at him like he's dumb.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, bro, it says Call of Duty League. And he's like, nah. You can't come in. So I got to do a quick loop around with the nephew real quick, and I get angry, and I'm like, all right, watch me. Give me 10 minutes. I'll be in there. In there. Don't worry. And we get the baller passes.
Yeah, we got the baller passes.
We got the border passes, but no.
But I'm just saying, like, if the Huntsman didn't have
yeah.
that, it's actually plausible that they literally couldn't get back there. That is
Yeah,
one.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that kind of sucks for sure.
For sure, but like surely, I'm not just talking about OpTic here because OpTic are obviously the biggest league and biggest team in the league. But surely there should be some sort of consideration from the higher ups that like, all right, the finals format does kind of suck. If the teams can get a team to scrim before the finals, we should allow that to happen.
Yeah. Especially the team's challenger team. Like,
yeah,
what?
no, for sure. Now
It's
listen,
kind of the
I'm
whole
not going to
point
sit there.
of having them in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the league, because the last time I checked the league logo is still the same, where it's got the 3 tiers. You know what I'm saying? The 3 tiers from the fans to the challengers to the pros. Now, I'm not fucking retarded or anything, but I'm pretty certain that those challenger teams are in the middle on the path to pro.
For sure.
And it's the Huntsman, for fuck's sake. We're not talking about we're not talking about some bum team like top 32 that might go rob a couple headsets. We're talking about the Huntsman. I don't know. The way I see it, Ken, is if they're not going to change the finals format, which I doubt they will, until next year to have a serious think about it, I think if the option is there for the players to scrim a challenger team, they just have to request that, hey, can we scrim this team? Can we get them passes just for them? And you take them off, have security outside, ready to take the passes away from them.
I agree.
I feel like that's a really simple fix just for the time being because I feel like there wouldn't be any kind of format cheese if OpTic could play a competitive, or any team could play like a semi-competitive scrim or a competitive scrim before they hop on against the team, and not just 2v2 hard points where listen, if I'm Dashy, I'm not going to want Mercules just tearing me a new one before finals. Like, it's just not happening. Like, I don't want that.
Somebody in the chat is also saying like, they calling cap on me because I said the team that has a deeper map pool benefits from this format. That's facts. He said that they can just veto the team's best match. Well, you don't get that many vetoes. That's just not like, if you have a deeper map pool, that is what I'm trying to say. It's like in hardpoint, for example, if we're good out of 4 of the 5 hardpoints, even if you veto 1, we're still great at 3. That's why in Vanguard, my Thieves team at the end of the year was so great, was because you either had to play us on Berlin or Gavitu. We're gonna veto Bocage. Good luck. You're gonna also play us on. You're gonna either have to play us on Berlin, Gavitu, or Tuscan. Tuscan, we were pretty good at. We weren't the best at, but we were pretty good at. But you're guaranteed Berlin and Gavitu, so we're automatically guaranteed a map. So that's why I said like this format benefits those teams. I'm not saying it's a great format. I think it needs to. It's been need to change.
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't think nobody disagrees with that. The format needs to change. I just think in this situation, it's not the format. It was more so that the fact that they could not warm up and they came out flat. And it's the biggest match of the tournament.
And to be fair, this is also the other talk was about because both finals. Okay, this is an interesting stat. I'm actually going to try and check this on the year and see how true this is. But over the course of so this whole year, OpTic have played 8 Colossus hardpoints. They've won 6 of them and they've lost 2. The only 2 they've lost were map 1 of the finals against Paris and map 1 of the finals against FaZe. And like, as you were saying earlier, Ken, actually, about Colossus as a map, like, it's a bang-out map. Like, it's the type of map that you kind of want to play when you're warmed up. Or, like, I don't know, like, it's probably beneficial, no? In that, so it ends up being map 1 of both series. OpTic lose it both times, which is, it's difficult to tell me there isn't some correlation going on there, right? And maybe they shouldn't have picked it, because, like, as the team from winners, you get to pick map 1, 5, and then the team from losers picks like 2, 3, 4, and then the other 2 are like left over basically. But I think there should be I don't know. If you're going to do this, there should at least be a bigger V2 advantage. I did talk to some of the guys last night. As far as I understand, it's going to be best of 7s for the rest of the season. Like, they're not going to change the finals format now mid-season in terms of the actual map setup. What they could be open to changing is the way the veto process works for the finals, and hopefully this warm-up discussion. Like, that's all we're going to get this season in terms of finals format changes. There's other solutions. Obviously, some people like the double best of 5, but I agree with you, Ken. I prefer the longer series because it shows, like, okay, who's the best over a ton of maps, and you get to watch a load of different maps get played, which I think is much better than what we used to have personally, even if it's not as fair. So, like, I'm still in the court of the best of 9, 1-0 advantage. I think it's the best middle ground. But yeah, it's like, people are going to say, and it's fair, people are only crying about it now because it's OpTic. But also, like, it doesn't mean that they're
it's
wrong.
been an issue for years, though,
Yeah.
to be fair. They're not wrong, for sure. But like you said, I think, like, because, like, for example, like Champs Grand Final, it's a whole different day. That's a whole reset day for both teams, which is why I think Grand Finals totally on one day is kind of fire. I can't lie.
Yeah.
But
there was some
I think a lot
discussion
of
to
teams
do that every tournament, but like we can't really do that for majors.
You can't really set that up. But I think a lot of pro teams will just be fine with the format if they could just warm up. That's it. It's also just hard. Like, the thing about it is, I will say, not every team has a challengers team that they can just hit up like, yo, come warm us up, you know? So maybe it's not like the best fix, but I think if the format cannot change, it's definitely a small fix, like a little band-aid on a crack. It's like the same as like the GA with the sniper. Like, okay, maybe there's aim assist, but we have the 2 live thing. Now that there's no aim assist, the sniper is in every round. So I don't know. I think the format, obviously how the maps and everything like are set up right now is great. Because like I said, I think it helps the better map pool team or a deeper map pool team. I personally always seen it as an advantage in the vetoes. Maybe a lot of teams don't, but I can see the 1-0 thing. I just think you got to come out hot in a grand finals match because, like I said, it's a different beast. And for them not to be able to be warmed up for or feel warmed up for it is the shitty part.
What do you think about these numbers, Trey? Because we put this graphic together after Major 1 finals. So back in the day, pre-CDL, when it was continuation brackets and it was double best of 5s, there was a roughly 75% win rate. So the team from winners would win 3 out of 4, roughly.
Jesus.
In the CDL so far, I mean, now after this most recent tournament, it's now 43% win from losers. So you're talking 55, 45, 60, 40, something like that. I was talking to the guys last night and they were like, we would probably like it to be about 2/3. And I don't know if we really want to think about those numbers, but I think I understand where they're coming from. That like you want the finals to give enough advantage for the winners team, but also it's still got to be interesting for the audience, like not a foregone conclusion. As sometimes the double best of 5s were, especially if it was like a hot 3-0 or something, it was just like a really dead grand finals. So I kind of see their logic, but I don't know. Like it's frustrating it's got to this point just because we had the best of 9 1-0 advantage. Like we had it. It was Champs Finals 2020. And then we threw it away because it was too complicated or something. Even though they'd actually got it right. They'd actually done it. They'd fixed the problem. Like, and also it's better.
I think that's the best one.
One more thing. Like the best of 9 1-0 is better because there's 8 maps. So there's not 4 search and destroys. There's only 3. Yeah. There's 3 searches, 3 hardpoints, and 2 overloads. Whereas a best of 7 is only 2 hardpoints, which I think is weak. Like hardpoint's the best game mode.
For sure.
Like it should be 3.
That's what I said. I said the same thing. Hardpoint. I mean, it wouldn't. I don't think it'd be better, but I swear, in and on a hardpoint would just be fire. It would suck that if it was a 100-point club, but I think that's the same. That's the same thing as like getting 6-0. But I do think there needs to be more respawns, like especially hardpoint and
more
grand
hardpoints.
finals.
Like, look,
we want to see
series is 1 overload and 2 hardpoints. In the grand finals, it's 2-2. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't mind finishing on an S&D in a best of 5, but finishing on a little 250, 249 hardpoint for the bread, like, bro, that's the fucking shit, bro. Like that's. Like, yeah, like Kenny said, like, it would suck just getting, like, fucking...
I still think the tension of the search, like, you have to keep search as a side.
Nah, yeah, for sure. I get it. It's just, if you can pick it...
I agree hardpoint's the best mode. Like, I'll stand.
But maybe that's the advantage you give the winners team. They get to pick the last map, or, I don't know, something. Like, maybe they want to play hardpoint. Maybe OpTic's like, oh, we go to game 7, but we want to play hardpoint. I don't know. There definitely needs to be some advantage. I get that. It sucks because it was there, like you said, Rap. It was. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it was right there. Like we had it right in front of our face. But, you know,
Turtle just said in the CDL grand final, the grand finals have been won in S&D 18 times, hardpoint 11 times, control 7 times.
Ugh, control.
No.
In and on a hard point.
You won
so
Champs
far.
on control actually. So.
Wait, was it you, Ken? No, you won on a hard point.
No, I won on S&D. I won on S&D, and then
It was on Tuscan.
Who won
It
on
was
that
a control,
control?
wasn't it? It was an invasion
Oh
control.
yeah, I
think
won
you
that
it
invasion
on.
control. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
You won on an invasion control. The dopamine would have been gone, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, what a map that is. Yeah.
I mean, listen, you know, my take on it is, you know, obviously, the winner should have an advantage coming from winners bracket. I think the fact that it's near 50% Rab that the loser team can win the event in the CDO alone, compared to the CWO where it's 20% or 20-ish%.
You might as well double it. Yeah, double the chance.
Is insane to me, and that's why the plummet era is now.
I like that.
You know, listen, the arguments are still pointing towards it, Ken. We're fucking living lavish over here. We're living
For sure.
lavish. I don't know what they can do, obviously, because back in the CWO, we done 2 best of 5s.
Yeah.
And guess what? I loved that. I thought that was the best
Same.
shit. Because guess what, Rab? You done your vetoes before. You got 3-0 slammed. You done your vetoes after that changed the maps that you got 3-0'd on, and then it was a competitive series.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that too.
You gotta take a chance.
I do hear that.
I just listen. The CDO is making it out like the fans have got 1 IQ, like they've got no brain.
I never
They don't know
understood
how-
that logic of like the fans don't get
listen,
it.
we done a survey. The fans are all dumb and don't get what a double best of 5 is because back unless I'm not smart. Back in the day, everyone knew what a double best of 5 was.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still
'Cause
doing
guess
it
what?
in Halo,
It's not
bro.
that hard to
Like,
comprehend.
they-
It's not that hard.
Because guess what? The casters would say, "This is a do or die map. If the loser team, if this team loses, we go to another best of 5. If this team wins, we win the event and they go off early." Like, it's not hard, bro. It really isn't.
Yeah.
I think double best of 5 was the best. I think it gave the teams a little break in between. I think it gave the fans a little break in between. Like I said, a new veto process as well.
I do
Ken,
like
really,
that though.
The new veto process really did make it like more competitive, in my opinion.
For sure.
Will we ever go back to double best 5? Probably not. But I think this year is really going to spark some conversation for the CDO. And you know what? I wouldn't mind. I'd actually like, because if the whole sole fact reason was the reason we got rid of double best of 5 was because of the fans, which I don't get, because how did they get that information? Then why not run, you know, an online poll to where the fans can decide what format they want next year?
Nah, the pillar is just like the fan pillar.
I think,
like it does.
Yeah, it's starting to fall off. It's starting to like crack off just a little bit.
Next year we're just gonna have 2 pillars, or just 1.
Yeah,
just one pillar, mate.
One. But
wait,
you know,
question.
obviously, yeah, go on.
No, yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think it would be hype if they did grand finals vetoes on the stage?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And they, okay, I also saw the tweet. Was it from
Not like
Rambo?
the fans have any idea what's going on.
I mean, yeah.
but I think Rambo was like, it should be like it was in the World Cup where you've got coaches on stage. Like, imagine how, and I think it was a fair point, imagine how much cooler that series would have been if you got Karma and Crowder up there with the headsets on, doing the vetoes on the stage, and then putting the headsets on, standing behind the players. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That would be, I would add something, I think. For sure.
Yes.
It would also
Imagine
delete
that-
a lot of like downtime between the between the
Yeah,
matches.
it's so
'Cause-
long on the Sunday, like between, because the
Yeah.
team who loses winners finals, they play 3 times in a row sometimes. Like, so and there's a
mean,
good
it
like
creates,
25
like,
minutes between series.
It creates like good fan interaction too.
True.
You know,
Sure.
imagine OpTic get their best map, everyone starts cheering.
They're like,
I mean,
Yeah,
they do that in
that-
other sports. I mean, obviously,
for no
like
reason,
in,
just-
like in
Yeah,
league, right?
Yeah, it's like league. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, FaZe goes, we veto Scar Hardpoint. And everybody's like, boo!
Yeah.
They just noticed OpTic's best match.
Yeah. No, that's
That
a
would be
great
fire.
shout, actually. That is a great
That would
shout.
actually be fire.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I hope the CDL listening to
Winners
that.
do pick what side of the stage they play on, right, Ken? Is that? still a thing?
Yeah, I think, well, it just depends. Because before it used to be just if you're a team A or team B. Because like usually they just pick the sides, like, oh, this is team A side, this is team B side. So if we go team A, we're going to be sitting on this side. I don't think any team looks at it that way. Obviously, it looked kind of crazy in the grand finals because they looked like FaZe just had some god boxes, but
Bro,
nobody
04 had the shot.
Tally.
Yo,
04 might have had a hat on his screen. It looked like, I was like, bro, he's making every perfect play, not losing a gunfight. Twin frying. But no, I don't think no teams look at it like that. From the outside looking in, it looks easy to be like, oh, well, that side of the stage is so much better. It do be feeling like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
to be fair, I think Krim had everyone on edge for a couple years.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy, we great story. We were about to play OpTic, and that PC, like we had our side of the stage because we won the flip, so we choose what side of the stage we want. Or I think OpTic chose. So I think OpTic chose their side of the stage, and we got the better side. But there was a lot of complaints about the PC beforehand, and we couldn't get it changed. But Krim hopped on stage.
Oh
Next
my
thing you know,
God.
we're setting up, ready to play,
Hey.
and there's a PC swap going on. So
Wow.
Mad Cat's on the mic going mental, started fucking screaming and shouting, "Yeah, what the fuck's going on, man? Like they can't be doing that. They wouldn't let me change it." Bear in mind, Mad Cat probably just dropped like a 0.7 on that. Krim walked over.
Yeah, it doesn't
Nah,
work.
I'm
Swap
not
that.
playing on this. Next thing you know, they've discombobulated this goddamn. You remember those curved those stages with the curve bit we had? Used to
Oh
have
my
10
God. Yeah.
single setups we had. They've discombobulated that one, ripped it all apart, got Krim a new PC, put it all back together before the series has started. Krim drops like a 1.2. Everyone's lost their heads.
It'd be, I don't know.
It's a scribble, but- I mean, we'll talk about it, right? Because that was the talk. I mean, we heard about it, Trey, on the Saturday when we were talking to Prez, and he was like, "Look, the PCs we're running, they ain't good compared to what we were using back home. They ain't good compared to what they've got in the Challengers pit. They were getting a lot of frame drops, especially on exposure, but also on other maps as well." And then I ran into Shotzi last night, and he told me the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, when we played the Scar Overload, he called in his streak, and it gave the whole team, like his whole team got like a frame drop while he called the streak in, and then they were thinking in the moment, they were like, well, shit, do we say to end it or?" But like at that point, you were like, it's near enough overtime. It's like the game's tied up. It's like, and there was a few other things that were just strange. And it's like, if there's something like that that's even affecting you to some degree, like if you're thinking about something that isn't what's happening on the map right now, then like it's a problem. And it's the same thing in Birmingham, but like 8 years ago with the monitors. So I don't 100% know what's going on there, but like the God box discussion, I always found it kind of funny. There is like actual some merit to it, just purely like from physics. Like when I worked at Intel, like they make the chips, not as many anymore, but there's, like you have the Intel back in the day, it was like the i5, the i7, the i9 and all that.
Yeah.
Basically, it's all the same thing, but when they take the silicon wafer that they've made, they then test them to see how quick they are. And like, because there's so many transistors that some of them are just quicker than others. So like you could get a shit i7 that's basically an i5, or you could get a really good one that's basically an i9. They call it the silicon lottery. So like there is some logic, even if you've got the same tech. Like there is some PCs will be better just by luck. Now, obviously the idea is that they're all so good that that's not even relevant.
Yeah.
Like it should be not relevant, right? It's like, okay, I've got 300 frames, you've got 305. Like it shouldn't make any difference. But if we're talking, I've got 80 frames and you've got 120, then that, it's a bigger deal.
I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. The thing is, the exposure glitch or the frame glitch has always been in the game. And a lot of it can be blamed on that's why PC gaming is just kind of mid, because there's so many settings, so much this. And I'm no PC nerd. Anytime anything's wrong with my PC, I'm checked. Because who am I going to call? Who am I going to ask? I don't know what I'm doing. So it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it just be the game. The game just be so poorly optimized that like I don't get no frames on this game, and I don't spend enough money on my PC to know I'm supposed to be getting a lot of frames. So it's just like that feeling, and it does suck because I will say the league be really bad about like dealing with issues mid game. I feel like they're not like prepared for them sometimes, and sometimes even online the refs don't even respond to you, and it's like. Sometimes like the response instantly of like, yo, I'm lagging is like, okay, just keep playing. I'm gonna get you an answer instead of the ref already knowing the answer. You get what I'm saying? Like they have to go through a whole different process of like
answer for? Like what?
You see what I'm saying? Like the whole process of like getting an answer from somebody higher up before you get in the game And it's like, let's just say like I'm thinking like
Are you
there's
not the
no
fucking
way in
referee?
hell.
Like, have you not got the discretion to do it? Is that not your
There
job?
is no way in hell we don't end the game because I'm lagging, and then like you don't really play, and then you hear, keep playing. We're gonna keep playing the map. Like it's gonna be like
you're so
played
checked.
out, and you're like, wow, I'm checked because I'm like there is no way I'm playing on this. And bro, like as much as like people can say like, oh, have like good mental and this, bro, it's a checkout, especially like with PC gaming, bro. And like I get, even when I'm not competing, I get checked when my PC's messed up. So I can understand it. Like I said, it you just never know nowadays though if it's the game or the PC. I started blaming the PC when I was on OpTic, and then Caesar joined the team, and the PC blew up when he was on the team, and I'm just like, I knew.
Yeah.
That's the worst though, because everyone you can't say it. You can't say it at the time.
They think you're delusional.
Yeah,
they think
no.
you're moving like
You
killer
can't say it
sloths.
at the time because they're gonna be like, yeah. I say that when I'm getting shit on too. So like,
Swap out the ethnic
and
cable.
then it blows up for Caesar, and then you do your tweet like, bro, I knew something was.
I
up with
knew
that,
some of
bro."
that. Yeah, I was getting no aim assist, but yeah, I don't know. I feel for pros when issues like that because I do think the league could be better about dealing with those situations. Because like you can't get an instant answer. You don't know if to keep playing because you know it's gonna end, or to keep playing because you know they're gonna be on some fugazi. And it's so hard to keep playing knowing that I can barely see my screen, my frame's dropping. So I don't know.
Yeah, and like Ghosty does the tweet because I think we heard about this as well, that they had a meeting and they basically got told, if you lads choose to play exposure and then you frame skip, unlucky. We ain't doing anything about it. It is what it is. Like, you just got to run with it. But then apparently, no, then they did start, because we did see a couple of resets and stuff like that was happening, like more than we've seen so far, presumably because the PCs weren't as good or something. But it's like, yeah, if it's true, I don't know 100% what they were using in challenges, but if it's, I mean, that's what Pred said, like in challenges, because the EWC have supported it in some way, they had better shit than we had on the main stage, which is, that cannot happen, right? Like, we've got to find a way. There's just no way that is acceptable. What are we doing?
I don't know. I just think the refs just need to be trained in a way that they do play the game or understand the game, and they can give you a quicker response. Obviously, if the game's not already started, if it's already like 150, 150, yeah, there's a difference there. You just started lagging at 150, 150. Okay, I may not have an answer for you right now. But if the game is loaded in and I see my game lagging, I should be able to say, hey, let's end the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I get the league and they want to be on schedule with time and matches and everything. But, like, what about the competitive integrity? I can't even play, you know? So, I don't know. Like I said, I think the league definitely needs to be better at that, because the conversation with the game makers or the devs ain't really that.
No,
you know,
agreed. I'm so
crazy
confused then
either.
at the setup, because like, so you've got a referee in the lobby for each team, but there's like a chief referee, and they have to consult with him to make a decision.
Exactly.
It's like, what's the playbook
Like,
for the refs?
like literally, you'll go, "Hey, ref, I'm lagging," and the ref will respond, "Okay, I'll get you an answer on that.
Let me
Keep
talk to
playing."
VAR, like, you know.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I literally can't. I remember there was one match, I think, in MW3 we were playing Boston. I literally could not play. I had to record, tweet out videos, send them videos, because I get it. Sometimes you could be like lying, but if the map just started, why does it matter if I'm lying or not?
Yeah,
It's like,
I hear you.
like we can end it. It's like, yo, we can end it real quick. We can hold like a little 30 seconds. So it's like, I think that, like I said, the league just needs to be better with that. And I think they need to train the refs to understand, like, or at least like these scenarios, because I don't think they're like random scenarios. They knew about the scenario before the event even started. So it's like, why is it still a question of what we're going to do in the moment? I don't know.
You know what I wish as well, Ken? I wish we knew the scenarios too.
Oh, for sure.
They used to have a
sure.
rule book that you could actually read.
Yeah, but the rule book was dumb as hell, because the rule book would specify some rules, and guess what? They used to go against them. So like, So the reason why I want to know, like, because like, let's say, Ken, we're in a game, it's 150, 150. I'm lagging like shit. Imagine the rule says if the score's above 150, 150, we can't do anything, unfortunate. And then you start to like, all right, bet, like, fuck it, I'm just really unlucky. Like,
For sure.
And at that point, maybe, Ken, you could be like, oh, if the team agrees to a replay, they can agree, or something like that.
Yeah, I remember there was like, and like, for example, like even like this, like I remember we played at I forgot the event, but we played in World War II, we played Rise, and they called in the UAV, and they tried to forfeit them, and we even told the league like, hey, we don't want to forfeit them, we want to play. They literally told them, no, they're forfeited.
I
I'm
remember
like,
this. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
I'm like, huh? Like, that's what it, like, sometimes it's like stuff like that just don't make sense to me. So it's like, I understand if the maps already started, like Trey said, because I think in MW19, there was a lot of issues that were like, they had to pick a score of like, oh, if it's over this score or whatever. But then we got the champs. I'm getting booted offline.
Yeah.
We're playing champs online. I'm getting booted offline. I done flew to 3 different cities to try to play champs. And it's like, huh? They trying to fault me. Like, well, if he can't come back, y'all have to play 3v4 or 45. Like,
45.
I'm getting booted offline. You think I'm just turning my setup? Like, come on. Like, I don't know. So, like I said, I think the league could definitely be better. And like I said, I think the refs, the initial refs on the stage need to be trained in a way that they can give you a quick answer. And excluding this play on. It's like, I can't play on. Like, I literally can't play. So,
No,
I don't know.
I get that. Yeah, because they probably have to liaise with the chief ref, and then they have to talk to production to be like, yeah, like, are we good to kind of...
Well, like, you know,
chalk this
there's
and run it back?
there's a big thing, you know. They have to relay the message, put the dishes away,
Yeah,
wait till the
true,
message
yeah.
get back to them. You know, maybe they've ate some food, put more dishes on, and then by the time they get the message
Put the
back,
little,
the map's
like,
over with.
put the
Guess what?
dishwasher
Ken's already
tablet
lost the
in,
map,
like,
even though he sent
literally,
through.
eco
Ken's already lost the
modes,
map because he's just got back and he's realized like, oh shit, I sent a message 15 minutes ago, and he got back to me 20 minutes ago. I weren't at the.
I don't even want to. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to hear the ref mouth no more. Don't even talk. Like, let's just forfeit. Then they get mad. You say, let's just forfeit it then.
Yeah,
We can't let you forfeit. What? I can't play.
I love it. I love it. We try forfeit the game too. Just be like, yo, this is bullshit. Like, this is just fucking hit. Nah, I can't do that. You'll get fined.
Like,
All right, bet. I'll just sit and spawn and not play. Can't do
Literally.
that. You'll get fined.
It's like, bro.
I'll run around, not shoot my gun then. Yeah, you can't do that. You get fined. What can I do then? It's I can play. All right, bet. Yeah, I'll just play on 400 ping. I got shit. Let that go.
Ain't looking good on the lineman card, that one.
No.
Can't be having that.
Not at
That's
all.
what it matters. No, that's what it matters.
True.
So I mean, look, just as we close out, really, like how much do you think these situations could have affected OpTic in the final? Because it kind of felt like when they lost that overload, obviously it was wow. I mean, it was a tight one. Like Shotzi did everything to even get them to the point where they could win it, and then through his life. But like that was the moment where, as you said, they were like that's when the bullshit started during the game, and it kind of felt like they never really quite recovered from that. It's what I'm saying about the. I'm not saying that OpTic don't have strong mental, because they actually really do. This team more so than some previous iterations we've seen. But it felt like FaZe were pretty nailed on in that sense. And OpTic, once they lost that once they lost the Scar overload, they just, I don't know, the energy wasn't quite there as you might expect. And I imagine some of the outside factors had some contribution to that. Like, Dashi tweeted out, didn't he? He basically said, I've got it somewhere. Yeah, quite the experience we played today. On to the next one, I guess, is what he said. So, like, clearly they were thinking about this during the game. And maybe there's a logic to be like, okay, they should have done a better job putting it out of mind or something. We obviously don't know what was happening on the FaZe side either. But yeah, it's unfortunate that it's like a talking point. It'd be nice to. Like, FaZe obviously deserved the win. They played better in the finals. But it'd be nice.
They played fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be nice to say.
I think because like even when I was watching during the watch party, I'm pretty sure even during the map 3, during like the intermission between like switching sides, Brandon was like talking to the ref or like talking about something to the ref about his setup, and you could just tell like he was forced to just they hit him with that keep playing. They just had to keep playing. So like you said, I feel for players because I hate when anything setup wise is messed up. Maybe FaZe was also having issues. It sucks sometimes. The worst things that can happen are stuff that's out of your control, and that's why PC gaming can just be mid at times. OpTic looked great the whole event, and then it looked like they couldn't get a kill in the finals. Is that the warm up? Is that the setup? Who knows? I don't know. FaZe looked great, obviously. Like, I knew that I had FaZe in the grand finals before the event even started, so I knew that FaZe would be like a great matchup for them. And OpTic still kept it close, regardless of the issues. And it sucks to say that you left the event, get a second. But I don't know. I just think the league just has to be better with stuff like that. I don't think it's really like major excuses because obviously every team's complaining about it. It ain't just one team, and it sucks. But like I said, I don't know.
One thing I will say is you know, the pros they play on these PCs the league provide for them. Now at this event they didn't use the same PCs they used at Major 1 or that they've been playing on the Alliance split matches. Now that to me is one major issue right there. They've played the online split on this PC they used at the majors of the American lands, and they come to the UK and they're playing on different PCs. Now, listen, I don't know about you, Ken. Obviously, these PCs are still good in a sense.
Yeah.
But to me, that's like, you know, playing with a scuff and then going to a battle beaver for the event. That's not taking anything away from FaZe or OpTic or anything like that. But this was the first time I've heard any pro complain about the PCs.
On land, especially.
It's not just OpTic. Just want to let you guys know, me and Rev spoke to a few people in the back. Like, this was most pros complaining about the PCs. Now, a lot of it goes back to the devs too. How are we still playing exposure with frame drops? It's not just it's literally the map. The map's broken. Hellstorms are broken. You watch your teammate calling a hellstorm on Colossus, you're basically playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
But the fact that these players are playing on these PCs and every single American major is the same, and they go to the UK and they're on different PCs, different setups, different monitors as well, may I just say, is a major issue. A major issue.
That's why you always keep everything consistent so that you can easily find the issue. Who would have thought, wow, if we play on the same PC, same everything, and the game is still lagging, what do you know? It's the game. Oh my God, who would have thought? Like, come on, like, I don't know.
I think Rab said when they play, didn't the monitors have like 2022 Katowice on there or whatever it was?
Yeah, I saw one of them. I mean, I think it was one of the monitors that was lent to like Benjay for the watch party or something, but they all pull them for the same thing. Like, there's all just spare monitor. Like, here you go. So it might not have been part of the selection, but it was from some event, which it makes sense. Right, like EFG are running it, ESL are running it. They've got their spot over in Katowice. They've got their spot over in, I don't know if they're based out of Berlin at all, but like, oh, we're doing the event in Europe. Okay, we'll get our equipment from there, so we don't have to ship it across the pond. Like, okay, sure, but also, again, it's the same issue we ran into 8 years ago, right? So something at the NEC. I don't know what it is.
Let's go back to console. Let's just go back to console.
I'm so down.
I mean, at least 8 years ago, yeah, the monitor situation was fucked up, but we had PlayStations plugged directly into the back of the other PlayStations. You know,
and it was true LAN. That's
what
another
I'm saying.
thing.
True LAN. Yeah,
there's true LAN.
Back in the day, all Killer was complaining about with the color of the Ethernet cords. He couldn't complain about servers or any of this bullshit because it's fake LAN.
It was always join CWL0045, and you're like, damn, like we're so fucking back. Now it's join this code.
That's another thing too, because like sometimes you'll play on the exact same server. Like, let's just say you play on Dallas. You'll be playing on Dallas, but some days you join Call of Duty Alpha. Some days you join Call of Duty whatever, like some other name, and I'm just like, is this the same server? They'll be, you're just playing on Dallas. This don't feel like Dallas.
Yeah. Trust me.
Hold on. This ain't Call of Duty Echo. This ain't Echo, and for some reason, I don't know. I'm kind of lagging.
Nah, the worst one, Ken, was when you used to play on the online servers and like Vanguard and stuff like that, and they were like, join Ohio, and you're like, bro, I played in Ohio last week, and I was talking, man. What's going on now?
Sure.
And you're like, are you sure this is Ohio? Yeah, this is Ohio 3 though, because Ohio 1 and 2 are down. So we've had to like budge this a little bit. I'm like,
Ohio 3 not optimized at all. This one, this is the worst one.
We actually just turned this on last week, and like we thought it was cool. Like it was tough. For sure, bro. Consistency in the league needs to be there. Consistency in the league. Yeah, throughout the whole of it, not just PCs, monitors, referees, just everything in particular. But yeah, no, great event. Obviously, some things could have been a little bit better, but from the standpoint of, it being a UK event, I thought this couldn't have gone any better for the future of the UK and having events here, for the future of the league, because it's not fucking dead, and you can sell out. You can sell out more than you really can. Over here as well, so I think W weekend all in all, and I do want to say something real quick. Opinions on 3-day events, I think they're fire.
I do think they're fire. I can't lie. I did say that as well. I think the 3-day event was fire.
I'm very
I
much
just, like
in
I said,
favor of the 3-day event. Yeah.
my only complaint was like the watching experience with the fans, because I thought that event looked so packed out. But I do agree this was a great event for like the future of the league, because I think UK events need to happen every year. They are always fire. There's never a complaint with the UK events. And honestly, I love them. So shout out, the event. Shout out FaZe for winning. Obviously,
You think
a lot of
FaZe can
controversy
keep it
there,
up?
but
It's like my last point.
I
Really.
do. I do, because obviously Draws is my boy. I always vouch for my boy Draws, but he just has that
CEO, baby,
grind
he's back.
mentality.
He did the
Yeah,
tweet.
he has that. He did hit the CDO tweet. I mean, he has that grind mentality.
What did he say?
So,
Who is it?
I don't know.
Draws is
Don't
my
forget who I
too.
am. Hashtag CEO. Let's go.
I don't know. I think FaZe will be good. I think he just has that grind mentality where like this isn't it. So I just think as long as they don't go home and forget everything they just did this event, they'll be fine. I think this qualifiers, hopefully every other team steps up and shows out, because I feel like FaZe was the only team this event that had good matches. I don't know. Every match that FaZe wasn't in my opinion, was boring. But I do hope that every team gets to their levels, because we're missing out on some great competition that obviously should be there. And I don't think this game is that bad. It's enjoyable to watch. So hopefully next qualifiers or the minor is a banger and we get some good matches.
You think 04 can do this again, Trey? 1.4 in finals. It's pretty typical to win your first tourney like this.
Do I think 04 can do it again?
Because people are like, it's huge overperformance. Like, people are saying the same about Insight. They're like, we'll see you back online, buddy. Like, I think he's turned something of a corner, but
yeah.
Like the team as a whole.
I think I think a 1.4 in finals is absurd. To keep that consistency up is
he's not doing that again. Like this.
Listen, let's keep it realistic. I love 04. I think he's a great player. I think he had a really bad online stint. I think for this FaZe team to carry it on and keep up the energy they have from this event, they have to go back online and play well. 04 really needs to go back and maybe change the way he plays a little bit online so they can so it works online too, because he's proved on LAN he's the fucking guy. 1.4 in the finals, crazy good. But like I said, it's not just about on LAN. Online is where it matters as well. I think this team isn't terrible online, but you can see a lot of flaws in their gameplay online, and that comes with a lot of performance issues on the team. I think Draza needs to perform a little bit better online too. It's not just 04. The whole team really, apart from Simp and Abuza. Abuza has a few slow ones online, but he's really fucking good. One of the best ARs in the league right now. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens after this event, I just hope they go back and consistently perform online too. I know it sucks that we have to say that. Because before it was just scrims until LAN, Ken. That was all it was. Scrim, LAN. Sure. But now these matches mean something.
I think they mean more towards like confidence and momentum than they do in standings. Obviously for like the great teams, because like you said, they just won the event. They go home. They start off 0-3. Maybe confidence kind of lacking. If they keep it up, it's hard to keep it up, though. That's the thing. It's very, very hard to keep it up. So if they do, that's great, honestly.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us today. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thanks to those of you who are watching online or around the world who met us in person or said hello, or I don't know, mate, Trey, it was a mega time, especially the live shows that we ran as well were great fun. And because I said I talked to the casino boss guy and he was not expecting, neither were we really, the reception we had on that evening. But next year, if we do it, if it is in Birmingham again, we will just book out that whole bar tray and we can probably fit like 150 people in there if we give it a good go. So I'd love to do that. I think also the live shows maybe in Paris, certainly in Vegas, that's also part of the plan. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for all the support. It was an amazing weekend in many ways. Thanks, Ken, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Final thoughts before I give it to Trey to close out the show.
Honestly, great show. Fun one. Fun weekend to watch. Definitely some interesting matches. Love talking. Love yapping. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Appreciate all the questions, everything. W-Rab, W-Trey. And yeah, hopefully I'm on more because I like talking COD. So see you guys when I see y'all.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's always good to get more COD minds on the hit. Obviously, we've had Ken, Don, myself. Rab's been around the scene for so long, so he's got
I don't
the
count,
IQ
bro.
as
I don't
well.
count. I'm no Benji.
But no, it's always nice to get loads more opinions on here. Obviously, Ken's done it all, lived the life, so you know everything he takes, everything he says is unbelievable, realistically. W show. Obviously, I would love Ken to be on more. Maybe we run a little 4-man show as a special one before a major starts or something like that.
I mean, episode 100 ain't far away, you know.
Yeah,
Ooh,
episode 100, we could be running like flank with 9 man.
Yeah.
But no, listen, we do appreciate everyone coming in, especially after the weekend. The matches were great. Shout out FaZe for winning. When did the online matches start again?
We got 2 weeks break. We got a 2-week break
2 weeks.
for them to figure out the map set.
So we got
So-
2 weeks.
That's another thing too. I will say this last thing I'll say before we leave is that I hope that some meta thing switches up so we can get some interesting things. If that's maps, one thing they did in MW3 was they changed the heals on maps. So it'd be cool. Just something they can spice up, make the game a little bit more entertaining, make it so that teams have to change something up or learn something new will be fun. So hopefully they figure that out in a week and a half, and in 2 weeks we get some bangers.
Listen, we got listen, we got a bunch of maps coming into the game. It'd be dumb not to, especially when overexposure doesn't run on anything more than 80 frames. So it'd be great to see some new maps, like Ken said. Apparently, it's a 3-week break too, according to.
No, that's
people
what I
in
mean.
chat.
It's 2 weeks off, and then it's back on the third.
Then that week, yeah, I was about to say.
Listen, it's all love over here. But that doesn't mean the shows stop, because there's gonna be a lot of roster mania chat
Hopefully.
going on in the next 2 weeks. There's definitely Boston haven't even got a 4-man roster. Teams are getting absolutely fucking well started on land Ravens, and then everything's getting everything should be good, fine and dandy. No pre-show this weekend because there's no matches, so you know what that means. We'll be back Monday next week with Donnie Temp talking about some COD, maybe some changes, hopefully some new maps, hopefully some new rosters. It's an absolute pleasure. Episode 100 is on the way. Keep watching these shows. It's an absolute pleasure to run them. For myself, Kenny, Rab, it's an absolute pleasure. We'll see you guys next Monday. Peace out.
Take care, everyone.
Peace.